I tell you what, we were a little late, but everybody, we've got the most people on than we've had for a while, so everybody loves it.
I can't hear you.
How about now? I turned that music down a little bit.
Much better.
There we go.
Couldn't hear you.
That's all right. You don't have to. We can just do music in the podcast. It'll be fine. We're already having enough stuff going on. We're good to go. Hey, guys, thank you all very much. I know we're a little late. It's a little bit different of a layout of a format here, but we've got it pretty much fixed, I think, so we should be good to go. All right, guys, thank you all for joining us. This is the Lights Out Sports Podcast. It's myself, Mike Valentine. There's my buddy Cheese over there. We are going to be doing a whole lot of stuff, and at the end, we're going to have a guest. Guys, Dan from Bunch of Nuts Podcast. Probably something we should have named this podcast between me and Cheese, Bunch of Nuts. So, yes, they are a Ohio State-centered podcast. They do the baseball and the football, so we will talk about the 4 big draft picks from Ohio State at the very end. Can't wait to do that with Dan from Bunch of Nuts. But of course, right now I have to ask the big question. Cheese, how you been?
I've been pretty good. Let us know in the comments. We had trouble with the format leading up to this, why we're a little late. Depending on, I've gotten a couple texts saying, no, everything's fine. And I've gotten texts from other people saying, I can't see you at all. So let us know if you can see me at all. Let us know how it looks on YouTube. But I've been pretty good. How have you been? It's draft week, so I'm so busy. So busy. Like I don't have time to breathe.
And of course, Raman, we appreciate you being with us here right now. Thank you very much. You and a whole bunch of your friends are here, so we appreciate that. And again, if you can't see Cheese or you can't see me, if you can't see me, it's okay. We have no problem with you not being able to see me. But if you can't see Cheese, I mean, shoot, that's why half of you turn in, maybe 75% of you turn into this broadcast is to look at Cheese the whole time. So
this is what gets us the views.
That is. It is. That is what gets us the views, buddy.
Yes.
All right. So we're going to jump in pretty quick here. We're not going to do a whole lot of stuff in between. We're going to go right into the 5 Flamin' 5 and 5. For those of you who do not know what that is, let's give you a little bit of a background on it. We're going to give Cheese 5 minutes. He's got 5 questions to answer. And then if he can do that, we're going to do a 6th question. Cheese, I'll give you what the title of the 6th question is.
Okay.
We're going to talk about college schools with the most first-round picks in the draft.
Oh, I love draft trivia. I love.
I do.
History.
I know you do.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So that's what we're going to do here in just a moment. We're going to give you the top 10 schools that have the most first-round draft picks, and then we're going to talk about it.
Okay. I could probably name 7 of them right away.
Oh, maybe we'll see. Maybe we'll see about that before it's all said and done.
Okay.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and kick it in. Let's do the 5 Flamin' 5 and 5. Let's do music. And let's do graphic.
Okay.
And then we'll start with the questions. Of course, we will start the timer. Man, there is just everything going wrong around here that can here right at the moment. I've been kicked off of my other email. Hang on.
Apparently, Mike gets kicked off of a lot of emails.
Oh, it's everything goes on my work, and most of you guys know that I'm a first responder, and we do a lot of encrypted stuff because there's a lot of things that we can't put on email and stuff like that. So when you try to log in from anywhere else but work, you try to log in from home or something like that, it says, "Oh no, get off of there," and it does all kinds of crazy stuff. So
we need to get Mike a Yahoo email. Okay.
No.
No, he's like, no.
Okay. I'm good.
Okay.
Not that I don't like Yahoo, because honestly, I like Yahoo Sports a lot, but I'm not going to use it for my email. Anyway.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and start with the 5 Flamin' 5 and 5. Cheese, here we go. It's a long.
It says I'm less than 4 minutes. Are we going to start over?
What, is it already started?
It says 3. Yeah, it's in the 350s.
Hold on. There we go. That's not too bad.
Okay, well, I still
Three
have,
extra
okay, I
seconds.
lost 3 seconds, but that's okay. I might burst in flames, but I'll give it a shot.
It's okay.
Okay.
Actually, it's not okay. I don't want to see you burst in flames, but here, maybe it just melt you a little bit. Just the one side of your face. Anyway,
Harvey
question
Dent.
1, sir. In the last 5 years, in the 6 major sports, 5 of them have had a team repeat, just in those 5 years. So in college basketball, UConn has repeated in 24 and 25. In college football, Georgia repeated in 21 and 22. In the NHL, Florida in 24 and 25. The Dodgers in MLB in 24 and 25. And of course, Kansas City in the NFL in 22 and 23. Yet, Cheese, the NBA has not. Do you think that's a coincidence? Or is there something that you can point to where you know why they have not had a repeat?
Did you get the Harvey Dent reference?
No, I don't know who
Half,
Harvey
half
Dent
the
is.
face burned. You didn't get the Harvey Dent reference.
No.
Listen to the comments. So Mike knows who Harvey Dent is.
Yeah,
Okay.
please educate me, guys. Go ahead.
So Florida has hockey teams. So Florida, there's a hockey team in Florida. That's awesome. The NBA has not. You're asking an NBA question. Not my area of expertise, but I'll say this. In 2023, the Nuggets won. The Nuggets should have won the last 2. They should be three-peating. That's what we should be talking about. Oh, the Nuggets only won a three-peat. But they had terrible management and had coaching. They did fire both of them. And they had no bench and overworked Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic. So hopefully they fix it this year. They got new GM, new coach. They have much better bench, much better depth this year, although they've had a couple injuries. I think that's the main reason why. Usually NBA, you have some kind of dynasty, the Warriors or the Heat, or just some team that wins 2 or 3 or 4. Usually you have this super teams, but I think that's the main reason. I think the Nuggets should have been winning all 3, and they just poor management.
Okay.
Nikola Jokic is unbelievable.
He is. And I thought you didn't like the NBA. Now here you are. You talked over a
Well,
minute on
Nuggets-
NBA, man. Come on now.
But I like the Nuggets. I don't like the NBA, but with the Nuggets, when they got to the final, I watched those games.
Okay, we got 4 more questions here. So former Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin is joining NBC Football Night in America pregame show. Do you think he'll do well on television?
If he's the same Mike Tomlin on the press conferences, absolutely. Tony Dungy was nice guy. Everyone likes Tony Dungy. Didn't bring anything to broadcast. It was boring. Tomlin, if he is the same Tomlin press conferences, I'm going to love this. I hope he has no filter. So I'm actually very excited about this.
All right, Mariners outfielder Rob Refsnyder shared with reporters the mental health toll going 0 for 19 with his new team, the Mariners. He was on the Red Sox.
Mm-hmm.
He did thank his wife, because he goes home to her every night, and he thanked the fans who showed up for early batting practice. So I'm going to ask you, Cheese, do you understand the mental toll, or do you look at him and say, suck it up and play baseball, son?
Isn't he that guy that he can only hit lefties? He's a right-handed platoon guy?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I sent you the video. Not that you watched it, but I sent it to you.
Sorry, I missed it. I had a lot going on today. I did not watch
you
the video. Sorry. Yeah, suck it up. Just suck up. You're a Major League Baseball player. Stop whining. Stop complaining. Oh, it took a toll. I started 0 for 19. Oh, come on. A lot of people struggle in April. Just suck it up. What a baby. What a baby. And he's playing victim. I cannot stand, Mike. We've talked about this before. I cannot stand when people play victim. Suck it up. Be a man.
All right. I'm with you, buddy. I'm right there with you. 4th question here. If the Cardinals were to select Jeremiah Love at number 3, he would get a 4-year, $50.5 million guaranteed contract, because that's what the draft picks get.
Yes.
That would be the most guaranteed money in NFL history to a running back. Thoughts?
This is not a flaming 5 question. I could talk for 5 minutes about this topic, but I don't have time. The problem is that first-round picks get guaranteed contracts. They shouldn't. I don't like that. I think the first 2, maybe middle of the half the third should be guaranteed. That's the problem, and that could change whether they draft him or not, whether the Titans draft him or not. Do we really want to guarantee a running back's contract, because they take a lot of hits? He still 4 years, $50 million. I think he's going to be incredible. I think he's one of the best 5 backs in the NFL when he enters the league. Still not making the most per year, but guaranteed. Yeah, it could hurt his draft stock because people, do we really want to guarantee a running back?
Yeah, I'm with you, but I tell you what, I'm not looking at the screen. You've got to be getting close to time. Yeah, you are. Okay.
35.
So let me give you the question. NFL trivia time. Which Big Ten school has had the most NFL Hall of Famers? Ohio State, Michigan, USC, or Penn State?
It's still counting down. Do I?
Yeah, go ahead. I'll give you a chance to answer it, and then we'll go over it.
Well, I know. There's okay. It's not going to be Penn State. It's one of the.
Okay.
It's not Penn State.
All right. So which one of the other ones?
I mean, Franco Harris is one, but like, I just can't think of a lot of Penn State guys that are Hall of Famers. So, Ohio State, Michigan, and USC, they all have so many Hall of Famers. What are you trying to do to me, Mike? Oh man!
I gave you this question ahead of time. You could have cheated, I guess.
No, I refuse to cheat.
Okay, well, I'm glad you didn't. But yeah, let's stop that music in the background. Go for it, man. Which one?
I would never cheat in trivia because it's no fun. For some reason, I feel like because you asked this and you're a Ohio State fan, that's not Ohio State.
Okay, so your first two things are correct. It is not Ohio State, and it is not Penn State. So you've narrowed it down to 2.
I'll tell you this much: in 30 years, it might be Ohio State. The way they're going with all these prospects.
Ohio State has 9, by the way. Colleges with the most Hall of Fame. Okay. Ohio State has 9. Penn State has 6.
Okay. Ohio State is 3 of my top 5 players in the draft. My top 100 releases tomorrow at Football with Cheese on YouTube. Okay. Football with Cheese, CHEZ. Yes, shameless plugs. You knew it was coming.
Hey.
I think I'm going to go with USC.
Down to Michigan and USC.
I'll go with USC because you would not ask this because you do not like Michigan, so you wouldn't ask if it was Michigan. So I'm going to say USC.
All right, Michigan has 9. So Ohio State has 9. Michigan has 9. Penn State has 6, and USC has 14. So yes, it is USC.
Technically, USC has been Big Ten very shortly, but yeah,
correct.
Recently, but yeah, like Marcus Allen, right? He went to USC.
Yes,
I think so. Yes. Okay, there's one. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have them all listed. I didn't research.
Let us know in the comments who is your favorite USC player.
There we go. That's good. I like this. We're getting some good interaction. I'm sure people are going to do it. Now, you said you put yourself out there, buddy, because I have the list. Schools with the most first-round picks in the NFL draft right here in front of me. You said, I can't believe you said it, but I set you up really nice. You're like, oh, I can remember. I can probably name 7 of them.
Like,
all right.
Yeah, I mean, well, look, okay, so Alabama, LSU.
Hang on. You give me a name, I'll give you the rankings.
Okay, Alabama. Definitely
is 3rd with 74.
LSU.
LSU is not on the list.
Most NFL players, LSU is not on the list.
LSU is not on the list.
Good thing I said 7, not 9.
Right.
Wow, they must have really dropped off as a program. Okay, Ohio State.
Ohio State is number 1 with 82. Michigan is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number 7 with 47. So you've got 1, 3, and 7 so far.
Georgia
is there. They are number 8, 1 less than Michigan, 46. Florida. There is a team that you should love that also has 46 and is tied for it'd be 8 or 9.
Florida.
Okay, Florida's there. That's not the hint that I gave you.
I know. But that was my next thought. Like,
all right, Florida is number 5 with 56.
Okay, Tennessee is who you're probably referring to.
Well, actually not, but Tennessee is on the list. They are number 10 with 46 as well.
Oklahoma
is not on the list.
Oh my God.
Love.
Texas has got to be on the list.
You should love. First round draft pick. Love.
Texas?
No. What's the guy's last name?
I know, but I just said Notre Dame. You're saying Notre Dame, but Texas isn't on the list?
No, Texas is not on the list.
See, I didn't even get 7 of 10.
Here, let me just give you the 10. All right. So number 1, well, let's start with 10. 10, you got Tennessee at 46. 9, you have Notre Dame, also 46. Georgia with 46. Then Michigan, 47. The one of them you did not name, Florida State at 47.
Oh, yeah.
Florida has
Clemson.
56.
Clemson, right?
Clemson is not on the list. Florida at number 5, 56. The U is at number 4.
Oh, Miami. Oh, I didn't even think. I should have thought of that. Oh, yeah.
Alabama, number 2. The other one that you didn't get, USC is at number 2 with 75. And
I would have said
Ohio
that.
State, number 1 with 82.
LSU and Oklahoma are not on the list.
No.
Wow. Okay. Texas? No.
No. It's Tennessee, Notre Dame, Georgia, Michigan, Florida State, Florida, Miami, Alabama, USC, Ohio State.
Wow. Well, I could have gotten 13 of the 15.
Well, you know. You did pretty good, actually. I thought you did pretty good. You got more than I would have gotten. So,
yeah. I thought I should have done better.
But don't be so hard on yourself.
I'm very hard on myself. I should do better. I love trivia, I love college football and draft trivia. I love stuff like that.
And you know what? Speaking of some of this kind of stuff, don't be so hard on yourself. Why don't you make it easy for yourself? Why don't you do this? Scan this barcode, everyone. This is Forward Fan. Scan this barcode, takes you to a spot for us to where you can win a $100 credit to Forward Fan. And what Forward Fan is, if you're a fan of a team and you think that team is going to the Super Bowl, or you think that team is going to the World Series, or you think that team is going to the NHL Stanley Cup, then by all means, scan this code, fill out that thing, because you can lock in your price now for tickets in the future. Just for an example, Chicago Cubs tickets. Now, World Series tickets, Cheese, are about $1,500 a pop. And you can lock in. Yes, I know it's crazy, but it's true. Ooh. You can lock in tickets right now for your Chicago Cubs for $160 each. And if you're a Washington Nationals fan and you have really low expectations, you can lock in those tickets for only, you ready? $5 a piece. So lock in your ticket price now. It's a great bargain.
I want to be a Nationals fan. No, I don't.
I want to be a Nationals fan.
I tried to say it. I could not say it.
You can't even get it out, right? Okay.
If anyone in the comments knows what happened to Matt Shaw, why Scott Kingery is pinch hitting for him, please let us know. In the Cubs-Phillies game, Cubs lead 3-1. No, that's an incredible deal. Like, if you believe in your team, if you like, my team is going to the World Series, you will save so much money by doing
you will.
Believe in your team. I know that the Mariners are not off to a great start. I get it. Tigers, a little disappointing, but come on. Your teams were amazing. Blue Jays, your teams were amazing last year. You were close. So this is such a great deal. I can't believe they're making money, but apparently, maybe they won't make money, but we, the fans, can make money.
There you go. As long as the fans are making money, right?
Yes.
And I want to thank Roger, by the way. Roger came on. I shot him a text message like, hey, I can't, the layout's wrong. We did something wrong here. So he came right on, figured it out, got us in our right layout. And for those of you who are wanting to join, All Gloves Off Sports Media, yeah, they're telling you it's good?
Yes, I got good text. It's good. Okay. It looks way better.
All right, fantastic. So
Roger's the man.
He is. And this is what we give you here at All Gloves Off Sports Media. We got a great team. It's not just myself. It's not just Cheese. There's a whole bunch of us here that are working around the clock, trying to get things on and together for all of you. If you are a podcast and you want to join a great sports network team, DM me at All Gloves Off SM on our X account, and we will talk later. All right, buddy. So we're going to jump into our football talk. And we'll let you do your football stuff here. And we're going to do football. Then we're going to do baseball. We're going to do our top 10 a little early because we got our guy Dan from Bunch of Nuts podcast coming in. So he will be on our last segment. Yeah, that's what we should have called this show, Bunch of Nuts. All right. So let's get ready for our NFL music. We'll put the graphic in the background, and then we will get going on 4 down territory. All right, Cheese, I know you've got everything ready for 4 Down Territory. We're going to talk a couple of specific teams. What are we going to do in this segment today, sir?
So we're going to talk Arizona Cardinals draft scenarios. They pick third in the draft. I think you agree. That's kind of where the draft starts. That's where we could see so many different scenarios. So we're going to break them all down right here. And, basically that's what we're talking about. And we're also going to talk about some wide receivers that may be on the move as well.
Okay. Where you want to start, buddy?
Let's talk about the Arizona Cardinals, third overall pick. What do you think about that?
All right. I'm liking it. Let's keep going with that.
So there are several scenarios for this spot. Like, I started thinking about this. I texted you and I was like, we got to talk about this because this is insane. Mm-hmm. So the rumor is GM Monty Ossenfort, he really wants Texas Tech edge rusher David Bailey.
Okay.
Popular name. Mm-hmm. And if the Jets take him at 2, the Cardinals will then try to move down. Once again, it's a rumor. About half the stuff is complete lies. Another 20% is half truths. You never know. But so first off, here's what I want to ask you. If the Jets select David Bailey, the pick is expected to be between, let's just say Arizona can't move down. The pick is expected between linebacker / edge rusher Alvaro Reese, running back Jeremiah Love, and linebacker Sonny Styles. What I want from you, Mike, as an Arizona Cardinal fan, or at least you claim to be when they're good, I want to know.
I haven't claimed to be a fan for a while then, but okay.
It's been a while. Hey, I remember when they were in the Super Bowl with Kurt Warner. Okay. Yep. He's got full gray hair now. Rank these 3 players 1 to 3 and where you want them, how bad you want them to be a Cardinal. Once again, Arvell Reese, Jeremiah Love, Sonny Styles. Rank them 1 to 3.
Well, there's some caveats to each one of them in a way. I mean, I would understand why they would want Jeremiah Love, but currently they've got a decent running back field, so I don't know if you get him now. So I'll put him at 3rd.
Okay.
Sonny Styles and Arvell Reese are like 1 and 1A for me. Oh boy. I like Sonny Styles a lot. I like how he improved over the season. I like the bloodline that he comes from. We'll talk more about that when we get our guy Dan from Bunch of Nuts podcast on here at the end. And Arvell Reese, he worries me a little bit because he's a hybrid guy, right? So he does, like you said, he does the linebacker / edge. And I'm not sure if he would want to just pick one. I think if I'm taking Arvell Reese, I'm making him either do edge or linebacker. I don't particularly like the hybrid part of it. So I'm going to go Sonny Styles, Arvell Reese, Jeremiah Love.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we will talk more about Arvell Reese when we get to that segment. I can't wait to talk about him. You mentioned hybrid. So do you think that the Cardinals might be scared off taking Reese because he is a hybrid player? Because they drafted Isaiah Simmons. He was a hybrid linebacker safety, and he was a total bust. Do you think it might scare them off of taking Reese because of that?
Yes and no. And I know it's kind of a cop-out, but yes, I think it would scare him off if he's told the Cardinals, yeah, I want to do both. And I think no, if when they had him in for his interview and they spoke to him, because I'm sure this came up in the topic of conversation, he said, I'll do whatever you want me to do. If you draft me, you tell me what you want and I'll do it. If he gave them that answer, I would say no. If he gave them the answer of I want to do both, then I would say yes. It may scare them off.
Okay. Yeah. Isaiah Simmons was one of the do you remember before the draft? I don't know how much draft coverage you watched before they drafted him, but he was supposed to be the safest pick in the draft. He's like, well, if he can't play linebacker, he'll play safety. If he can't play safety, he'll play linebacker. He was supposed to be the safest player in the draft. They took him maybe 8th or 9th overall. And a lot of fan bases that had like 10th, 11th, 12th were so mad. They wanted Isaiah Simmons, and it just did not work out. That guy just has absolutely no instincts whatsoever. None. He cannot read the quarterback at all. Okay. So, next question for you.
Before you get to the next question, I'll tell you this. I didn't watch near as much draft coverage as I do now. Somebody on this channel has forced me to watch a whole bunch of draft coverage, even if it's just the stuff on his channel. So yeah, I watch a lot more draft coverage now. I'm a lot more into the draft, and honestly, it's got me a lot more into football, because when you study these guys and when you look at them and you kind of get to know them, I don't want to say personally, but I feel like I know a lot of these guys a lot more than I did in drafts past. So now I'm going to want to follow them and see where they go and all that kind of thing. So I'm into football more because of you, Cheese.
Well, thank you. I'm into the draft. One of the reasons is, well, just the whole building the team. And I also love college and pro. I love both.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm into it because of Mel. I mean, Mel Kiper Jr., I don't like what he's become. He was awful last year. Like, he was unwatchable. But I got into it because of Mel Kiper Jr. He was the draft. Like, there was no other, when I was a little kid, there was no other, there's no Dane Brugler, there's no Daniel Jeremiah. It was what Mel's board is. That's what every fan sees. That's it.
Yep.
So if Mel didn't like the guy or really liked the guy, that's what you thought. And you wanted your team to draft whoever Mel had the best player on the board.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we know, Mel can make mistakes. He's had good drafts and bad drafts. But yeah, Mel Kiper's one of the reasons I got in the draft. But I'm not even getting into how awful.
Yeah, but what the draft has become now, how publicized it is. And I mean, it's going to be in Pittsburgh, and now it's 3 days, and it's all kinds of stuff now. So I mean, the draft has grown so much.
I mean, I guess it's good for my channel that it's like spread out, more videos, more views. But I missed the all day Saturday, all day Sunday. I love that format. Start at noon Eastern Sunday, Saturday, first 3 rounds, and then rounds 4 through 7 Sunday. I prefer that, definitely. But it's been like a decade. Reds win. Yeah, they were up 11-2, so I hope they didn't blow it. We were talking about this, Roger. If the Reds start hitting, look out. Look out. Okay. All right. Talking about before the show. So as a Cardinal fan, yes, I'm making you a Cardinal fan. You have to admit it. Okay. The rumor is that they want to move down. Okay, there we go. Yes. They want to move down. David Bailey isn't there. How far would you be willing to move down? Pick 5, pick 9, pick 12? Would you be willing to move down later than that? What is ideal for you?
Well, you use the word ideal. I mean, I think ideal is to not move off the 3rd pick if your person that you really want is there. But for me, ideally, I would move down quite a bit. I'd be willing to move down beyond 12 if I can get more picks later. Like, if I can get more picks in the 20 to 50 range, because as you and I have discussed, we just did our draft special on Sunday with our guys from all the different spots that we had up there. We had Wayne, we had Med, we had Clint, and yourself, and we did a great draft with them and a breakdown with them and everything else on the picks. I don't think there's much difference between 20 and 50.
There isn't.
So if I can give up 3 and I can get 3 picks, let's say, between 20 and 50, then I'm willing to drop down some. Especially in this draft. Maybe not in drafts past, but in this one, I am.
I was finalies in my top 100. Will be released tomorrow, I promise. And I was looking at the Bears at 25. Like, I was doing my list, and I think the Bears pick at 25. The Packers pick at 52. Packers don't have a first-round pick. There's very little difference from my 25th player and my 52nd player. Very little difference. And then there's not much difference between 55 and 81, 82. It's crazy. So this is one of those drafts where late first round, we're going to see some surprises, because it's going to fill. There's so many players just so similar. So what teams are going to do is take a certain position that's a need that fits their system. And it might be someone like Tre'Davious Stukes, corner Arizona. I could see him going 60. I could see him going 29, 30. He's in that group. So Jacob Rodriguez, CJ Allen, linebacker, Rodriguez, Texas Tech, linebacker, Georgia. Consensus board, they're not top. They're 2nd round picks. I think they're going 1st round. I do.
It will be interesting. And, you're mentioning all of this. Our top our lights out list, which is kind of our way of a top 10,
Very
right?
true. Very
We're
true.
going to do that here in a few moments, and we are going to pick. Oh, we're going to do
Nico Horner.
surprises in the first round. What did you say? You worded it better than I just did. What was it? Oh, bold predictions.
We're going to do 5 bold predictions each, because if we did 10, it would take forever. Yes. 5 each for our lights out list. And for me, I don't know if you did this. I did each one more bold.
Yeah, I did too. The first one's not real bold, but they get really, really bold as it kind of goes into it. So, and then of course, Seer Resisting says draft day has become a religious holiday in the holy calendar of the religion of football. 100%. I remember when this day wasn't much of anything.
Well, I'm pretty sure he's a Jets fan. I could be wrong. I think he's a Jets fan. So he has hope. This is his favorite day because we have hope. We might actually draft good players. They never do. But so the draft day is great for the Jets fans. They celebrate because we might actually do something, and they never do.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Hope he's not a Giants fan. I think he's Jets. But anyway, all right, let's keep this going. By the way, next week we got to talk about Nico Horner. He just homered. We don't have time this week, but we need to talk about what Nico Horner is doing. Pretty insane. Okay.
Sal.
So, Sal Stewart. Oh my God. Obviously, was going to bring him up a little bit later, but we probably won't have time. Okay. I think ideally you want to stay in the top 5 in this draft because there are drop-offs throughout. But of course, the Giants then would have to move up. And the only way that happens is if they either absolutely love Sonny Styles or Jeremiah Love so much and think the Titans will take one of them. This has not been rumored. I was just speculating. I'm just trying to go over every scenario. You know how my mind works draft time.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I do know how your mind works. I like your buddy's comment here too. Yeah.
Yeah. Cheese doesn't have an E on the end, but I appreciate it, buddy.
So I used to do the same thing all the time. Don't worry about it.
Hey, at least you got the Z in there. That's cool. Appreciate that. Yeah, he's a good dude. Yeah, Jets fan. He's a Jets fan.
You're telling me how you spelled cheese right there on your little circle is how it's supposed to be spelled?
At Football with Cheese on YouTube. Yeah, he's a Jets fan, so this is their time. The free agency and draft. This is the only time they might shine. You know, they might get an A- from Mel. You know this. But once the season starts, you're like, oh, okay, yeah. We'll stop talking about football. Okay. So the Giants pick 5. I don't think they're going to move up. I think it's not possible. Well, I think it's possible, but unlikely. Would you take, if they moved up, the 5th pick and the pick 37 in the second round to move down from 3 to 5?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, that's a no-brainer, I think.
Yeah, I think that's what it would take. I don't think the Cardinals would take a 3rd to move down.
We got one more. Oh, hang on. I'm sorry. I was looking at another page.
So did you know the Jets turned down a trade offer for Jerry Jeudy because the Madden score was too low? Did you know that Brick Johnson, Woody Johnson's grandson, 17-year-old, was involved in decision-making or influencing decision-making? That is what he means by this. He wants a new owner because this is like not – I'm not making this up. This is not rumors. This is reported stuff. Pretty crazy.
Yeah, but unless he lives in New York. I mean, even if he lives in New York, switch to the Giants, for God's sake. I mean, yeah.
He does live in New York.
Okay.
You know, I tell him to get out of New York. It's way too expensive. I've been telling him to come south. Okay. Now, let's say the Cardinals move down to 9 because the rumor is that Chiefs want to move up.
Okay.
But let's also assume, because I think this is, very likely, that Sonny Styles, Jeremiah Love, Arvil Reese, and even Caleb Downs are gone. If all those players are off the board, who would the Cardinals be targeting at 9, do you
think? So give me the who's off the board?
So Sonny Styles. Yeah, I know it's brutal. Jeremiah Love, okay, Caleb Downs, and Arvil Reese. None of them fall to 9. So they move down to 9. They get a big haul from the Chiefs, but they still have to make the 9th pick. Oh my God, the Cubs are just killing it. So you're at 9. Who are you targeting? Who is the Arizona Cardinals pick? Do they go tackle, right tackle, like a Spencer Fano? Who are they going there? What do you think?
Oh, see, this is why when your earlier question was, will you be willing to move way down? Yes, this is why. Because once you get to this point in the draft, you're just like, man, I don't know who I'm going to pick. And let me give you, I mean, they've got McBride. What if they went out and got, I just lost his name.
Trey McBride's one of the best tight ends in the game.
Correct.
Monster season.
What if they doubled down and got the Oregon tight end?
Sadiq?
Yes.
Are you trying to do Rob Gronkowski, Aaron Hernandez? Are you trying to duplicate that? Because that's what it sounds like.
It worked.
It worked until one became a murderer.
Well, yes, but you're hoping you got, some they don't have the character flaws of the one. So, yes.
That would be insane.
By the way, did you hear what the Patriots are doing? We'll talk about this for 30 seconds. If you bring an Aaron Hernandez jersey to, I believe it's just the first game, they will let you trade that jersey in for any other jersey in the shop, in the NFL shop inside the stadium, because they want to get rid of Aaron Hernandez jerseys out there that bad.
I really don't want to get into the Patriots. I don't like the organization.
Okay.
I didn't want to bring it up during our thing because Wayne's a Patriot fan, but there's so many controversies, so many cheating, their owner has done something disgusting. I don't even want to talk about it, but I absolutely despise the Patriots. I always have. But
All
yeah,
right, so
anyway.
Google it, everyone. Yeah. After the show, you can Google it. There we go.
Google what Robert Kraft did, and the NFL just didn't. Yeah, they didn't make him.
Ignored it, basically.
You can't let someone like that own a team. They should have taken the team from him or made him sell it. Like the Clippers owner made some racist comments, which were just awful. But then they said you can't own a team anymore. But Robert Kraft did something so much worse. So, okay. Now, where were you? Oh, okay. Here's my question for you. So they say they trade with the Chiefs. So if they do, the Cardinals are going to get at the very least, the 29th pick this year, which the Chiefs own, in a trade with the Rams, or they get the Chiefs' first-round pick next year. One of those will be part of the package, obviously. So which one would you rather have? Would you rather get a player in the building right away, pick 29 in a weaker draft, or would you rather get the Chiefs' first-round pick next year, not knowing where it is, in a much stronger draft?
This is a great question, buddy.
Tough.
It is. This is a little tough. I mean, you're right. It's a stronger draft next year, but you don't know where it's going to be. The Chiefs were 6-11, and
oh, Chuck.
So the Chiefs were 6-11. If they trade up, I assume they're going to trade up, and they think they can do better than 6-11. But they're not going to have Mahomes for the first few games, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they'll be going with Fields.
Probably at least the first 4 games, at least maybe half the year. He tore his ACL, yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know what? I want their first round pick next year because of that stat right there. I think they'll do better, but I don't think they're going to be like picking 20 or below. They'll be picking somewhere between 10 and 20, and in a stronger draft, I want 10 and 20 than the 29th pick this year.
Yeah, so 29, who would you get? Like Chase Bissonis, guard, Texas A&M. I like him. He should be a solid starter. He should be good.
Mm-hmm.
They could use a right guard. Okay. Does that excite you? Like, just looking at who you're getting at 29, you're getting a mid-second round pick talent in this draft. So I agree with you. Let's take the pick next year. The Cardinals are not winning the Super Bowl this year.
No.
So let's look to the future. Okay.
Yes.
Now, here's one I've been looking forward to. I want to hear your answer to this. I'm so glad I thought to ask you this. Do you think there's any chance the Cardinals go either Jordan Tyson, wide receiver, Arizona State, or Cardinal Tate, wide receiver, Ohio State, with the 9th pick, and try to trade Marvin Harrison Jr., who's been a disappointment, former top 4 pick, for a day 2 pick in this draft? Is it possible?
Okay, so let's go over this piece by piece by piece, right? Yes, you're right. He's been a disappointment. I'm really upset with him. I thought he would be better.
Yeah.
But you got him as a top pick 2 years ago, and now all of a sudden you want to basically say that you were wrong and trade him for a second round pick in this year's draft?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think Monty Austinford or anybody else in that Cardinals organization would be willing to do that just because of what it says about their drafting.
Even if they got Carnell Tate, Jordan Tyson at 9, even if they moved down to 9 and one of those players is there, because I really like both players. I'm very high on them. And what if they're really high on those guys? What, you don't think so?
I don't think they're going to get another receiver. I mean, I think if anything, you trade Michael Wilson. Because he's not been great, and then all of a sudden he had a breakout year. So you trade the guy who all the all of a sudden had a breakout year.
He is a free agent end of the year too. If you don't think you can sign him, okay. So basically, we know the Eagles are expected to trade AJ Brown probably to the Patriots after June 1st for cap reasons.
Yep.
And they're likely in the market for number 1 receiver. So you would not take the 54th pick for Marvin Harrison Jr. What about this? Obviously you won't. What if they offer you the 54th pick, second round this year, and a third next year? Would you take that?
For Harrison?
Yes.
Wow. You know
assuming you're at 9, assuming you're at 9 and you love Tate or you love Tyson and you just, we got to draft him and the Eagles have already, you agreed to it. If this guy's there, assuming that.
You know what? I'd take the chance. Go ahead and do it.
Who are we taking? Carnell Tate or Jordan Tyson?
Well, I would be
if they're both there.
I am much higher on Carnell Tate. We'll talk about that too when Dan comes on with a bunch of nuts podcast here in just a little bit. Personally, I'm higher on Tate, but I would understand with the Arizona connection where they might want to take Tyson too.
Okay. I mean, honestly, I have them neck and neck. I went with Tyson just if he's healthy, 100% healthy. That's a big if.
I'm going to say it's a big if, buddy.
I have him higher than Tate, but they're both should be outstanding players in the NFL.
I like how you're just all of a sudden poking at this bear over here, and now you're throwing Marvin Harrison Jr. out there and everything else. That's
I'm trying to think of every scenario. He's been disappointment, and there's been rumors that teams are interested. I've not heard a single rumor that they're trying to move on from him, that they're listening at all. I'm just hearing rumors that some teams are inquiring about him just to see if Arizona is willing to move.
You may as well call. The least they can say is no.
Which they probably will.
All right. So are we? What was that? Was that it, man?
That's it.
The football thing flew by today. Daggone.
I can ask you. Hey, we could talk. Okay, I tell you what. We'll go pick by pick, the top 100 on my board. We'll go player by player and talk 5 minutes each. Here we go.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. Let's do that. Oh man. All right. Well, you know what? Since we're going to go into MLB 4-pitch talk, then what we need to do first is give you music and give you, of course, the best background in all of podcasting, Cheese. Here we go. All right, buddy, there it is. What we all call the best background in all of podcasting. What more could you want? A huge baseball, flames. I mean, come on now. You can't get any better than that.
It is so cool.
It is pretty neat, actually. So we're going to talk about payrolls and the records in MLB. We're going to look at who is the best division in National Football, in Major League Baseball. Then we're going to talk about the San Diego Padres before we go into our lights out list. And then we get Dan on here from Bunch of Nuts podcast. So let's get into this, bud.
Okay.
Here are the payrolls and the records for those top 5 teams, not including today's games. All right. This is their records as of yesterday. So the Dodgers, $415 million, their record's 16-6. The Mets are second with $381 million. Their record is 7-15. The Yankees are next.
It's
the Yankees are next at 300.
Yeah.
Don't you though? $337 million, 13-9. The Phillies, also a big yuck, are fourth in highest payroll, $314 million, and they are 8-14. I think it got beat again tonight. The Blue Jays are $309 million, number 5, the reigning champion in the American League, and they have an 8-13 record. So first of all, Cheese, of those 5 teams, well, 3 of them have a terrible record. So the 3 that have the bad record, Mets, Phillies, Blue Jays, which one of those do you think can actually rebound?
I'm going to say the Blue Jays. This happens sometimes. You have a late playoff run. You go really deep. Your pitching throws more innings than ever. Even hitters, you go to November 1st, and you don't have that full off season to rest, and you just start out kind of slow. I think that's what's happened to the Blue Jays. I think they're just kind of in a rut. But the talent's there. The Blue Jays their team is so loaded. So I think the Mets and Phillies are really concerning. I've watched a lot of them. They've been playing the Braves and Cubs a lot, so I've been watching them. They have a lot of concerning things. The Phillies can't pitch, they can't hit, and they can't field. So,
yeah. Beyond that, they're great.
Yeah. But there's a lot of concerning things with those teams. So, of all of them, I think the Phillies are in the worst shape, but I'd say the Blue Jays in the best.
Yeah, I would agree with you. The Phillies are batting 157 right now as a team. So, I mean, that's awful. The Reds weren't batting much better as far as that part goes, but their bullpen was so much better and their fielding was great too. So, you can have one bad spot in your team, have 2 good ones, and still be okay. I mean, the Reds, I believe, well, they scored 11 runs today, so they might not be a negative run differential anymore, but they were as of yesterday.
Mets lost again. They're 7-16. They've lost 12 straight games.
Wow.
And the Toronto won. They've won 2 straight. So yeah. Okay. So we're looking smart. We picked the right team.
So, Cheese, it's not just about spending money, but it's about spending it correctly to build a team. Tell me, in your opinion, I mean, I can throw $300 million at a team, but if I don't spend it right, it's still not going to be a winning team, right?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. The Yankees, God, they were very good in the 90s, no doubt about it. I remember watching them. But even the early 2000s, they had some teams they'd spent like crazy. They'd sign whoever the biggest free agent was, they just signed it. And a lot of those players busted. And yeah, they had teams that just weren't that great. So it's spending. Don't spend money just to spend money. Spend it responsibly.
Okay. I get that. And I totally agree with you as well. I mean, that's 100% what can happen. And 3 of these 5 high payroll teams prove it to us. What about injuries, Cheese? Do they happen to everyone? Do they seem to happen to, to some teams more? Does it all just kind of even out in the wash?
I don't know. The Arizona Diamondbacks and Astros, like if they have more complaint than anybody, but certain teams are more injured than others, but every team has injuries. The Braves and Cubs have lost two of their best 3 starters to injury. So it's like, and they're doing great. So every team has injuries. If Soto was 100% healthy and playing amazing, they still would not be very good. So you cannot use an excuse. You can mention it. You can say, okay, if we had, you can mention it, but it's not an excuse because so many teams have injuries.
So what about clubhouse chemistry? I know we've talked about this before. Dave Dombrowski said something to Bryce Harper like, you're not an elite player anymore. So that chemistry, I'm sure, took a hit in that clubhouse, and look where they are. But can managers overcome some of these chemistry issues and slow starts?
That was such a dumb statement. It helped nothing. Never should have been made public. Harper obviously isn't the same player he used to be. He's still a very good player. It was so dumb, but yeah, it's very possible. It's very possible. They're down 6-3 in the 8th of the Cubs right now. It's possible. Here's the problem with the Phillies. After Harpo, Trey Turner, and what's his name? Left-handed slugger DH. Why former Cub. Why am I blanking on him?
Oh, Schwarber?
Yeah, Kyle Schwarber. After that, no one in the lineup, it scares me at all. They don't have a single threat from 4 through 9.
No.
Real Mutu is an average hitter for a catcher at this point in his career. Alec Boehm, I mean, come on. I mean, like there's no one that scares you
Mm-mm.
at all in lineup. If you get out of those first three without giving up runs, you're fine. I
Right.
think that's a huge problem for the Phillies. So they have to pitch well. And on paper they look like they should pitch amazing. But oh man, who pitched yesterday for the Phillies? Uh, Aaron Noah. He's been awful um, so far this year.
Yeah.
And what's his name? Well, Zach Wheeler has not pitched yet. He's injured. So they need Noah to find, turn it around. And they need Zach Wheeler to get healthy. They need to pitch well if they're going to have any success this
Yeah. All right, Chiefs, let's go to a specific division here. This is question 2 of 3 in our MLB 4-pitch talk. Then we'll do our lights out list quickly, and then we've already got our buddy Dan here from Bunch of Nuts. I can see him in the queue over here. We'll pull him up here in just a moment too, and we will talk Ohio State. So, Cheese, is the best division in baseball the National League Central?
Yes.
Wow, that was
every
quick.
every single team is at least 3 games over 500.
Mm-hmm.
Every single team has something special about them. Every single team has done something super well this year. So Pittsburgh has all this young pitching. The Cubs have been scoring runs like crazy. The Reds pitching, the Reds bullpen, just you can't score runs on the Reds. Like every team has something going for it. Cardinals have overachieved. I think the Cardinals are still going to be last place. I think they've overachieved, but still they have looked better than expected. So yeah, I think hands down, NL West has 3 really good teams, but 2 teams that suck. But the 3 good teams are very good, but they don't have. They might have a better top 3 than the Central, but they have the Rockies and the Giants.
All right, so you're right. You said it earlier. They're doing it in different ways. Pittsburgh's doing it with their young pitching. The Cubs are doing it with hitting because they have a plus 30 run differential. The Reds are doing it with the best bullpen ERA in the sport at 231. So, Cheese, of those 3, which of those do you think is the most sustainable long term?
Sustainable?
Mm-hmm. Because this is just the beginning of the season. We got a lot more to go yet.
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe the Cubs lineup, because 1 through 9, they really don't have a weakness. I mean, PCA struggled at times maybe, but like even one spot in the lineup with his elite defense, saving runs. The bullpen ERA, we'll see. It's April 21st. We know how bullpen can fluctuate. So that might be the least sustainable. I don't know. I haven't watched every single pitch for the Reds bullpens, but I know it's been really good. And they missed a lot of bats, but I don't think the Pirates' young pitching is just gonna. I don't think it's going anywhere.
All right. I was going to share a couple graphics and stuff on here, but we're close to time here, so I don't want to keep Dan waiting forever off in the corner. So I'm just kind of looking it up on the phone here to the side. That's why I'm staring off to the side here. But here's the new power rankings, right? Your Braves, sir, are at number 1. The Dodgers and the Padres and the Yankees. I'd say 3 of those 4 teams we're pretty sure are pretty much always going to be in those top few. But then you've got Reds, Cubs, Diamondbacks, who you just talked about too, Tigers, who I'm not sure why they're still in the top 10, Pirates. The entire National League Central is from 5 to 10. That is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, Cardinal fans, based on the record, might be a little pissed about that. But it just
they're
tells
being
you
carried by one guy right now, and once he cools off, so are they.
Yeah, Jordan Walker has been amazing. He was such a big time prospect and was such a disappointment. And the fans were like, "Oh yeah, he can't hit major league pitching. He's great AAA." But yeah, he's found it this year. He's been one of the best hitters in baseball. There's so many young guys just hitting. It's great for the sport. I absolutely love it. Sal Stewart and Oh, even like Cubs got some guys like Moises Ballesteros has been very good as a rookie. So, yeah, Nico Horner, we will talk about him next week because I really want to talk about him. But
Oh, okay. Not that you're forcing my hand or anything. But all right.
well, I mean, there's something to talk about there.
There is.
He's a fascinating player. He's an old school type player, not a typical major leaguer. So,
Correct.
but yeah, power rankings on April 21st mean nothing, but it's interesting to look at. But I love what the Braves are doing. They got destroyed today, but I still wouldn't have put them probably the top three. Even though their record's great, they still have some flaws.
All right. Third question here, and the three that we're going to do. So this is our final MLB question before we do our lights out list. San Diego Padres reliever Mason Miller has a 0.00 ERA in his 32 2/3 inning scoreless streak. So based on that, Cheese, can a relief pitcher win Cy Young? And if so, do you think the next one will be Miller?
I think didn't Eric Gagne win a Cy Young?
There have been a few relievers over the years that have won them, but it's just a handful, and it usually doesn't happen. So, but yes. I mean, what do you think? Can a reliever do it?
Yes. And if there is a reliever that can do it, holy crap! Like what he's doing is I've never seen this before. Like the most dominant reliever I've ever seen is Mariano Rivera, but even he didn't come close to these numbers. No. Mason Miller is unhittable.
Yeah, we'll give you some more numbers in a minute.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, okay, so Miller has 8 saves. His K per 9, you ready? 21.44. So in other words, if he pitched 9 innings, he would strike out 21 and a half batters.
Out of 27. Out of
27. Yes.
Okay.
So the Padres, Cheese, wanted to convert Mason Miller over to a starter. Based on 21.44, would you? Or do you think he's better as the reliever he is right now?
Oh, why move him? He's having the best season so far. He could have the best season a reliever's ever had. I remember when they tried to make Jonathan Papelbon, the Red Sox, a starter, and it went terribly. Moved him right back to the bullpen.
Yeah. Aroldis Chapman with the Reds, they tried to do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, leave him there. If you're that good, that dominant. Like, I remember the Cubs don't win the World Series without Aroldis Chapman. They don't make that trade. They don't win the World Series. Like, yeah, he was up. The Cubs just they didn't have that 9th inning guy. That was the missing piece. And once they got Chapman, when you have someone that amazing, that you have a guaranteed win going into the 9th inning. If you're up 1 run, it's guaranteed. Keep him there. It's what he's doing. I have never seen anything like this. I don't know. Was there any reliever like this in the 1950s?
You're so funny. Anyway, so it's your obligatory stab at the old guy, right? You got to get one in at least every podcast. So okay, here we go.
I got it.
It took you a little while, but you got it.
Yeah,
you got it.
I got it. It was set up perfectly.
I did that for you really well too. So he has a negative FIP, which is fielding independent pitching. It's negative 1.11. So, Cheese, I'm going to explain fielding independent pitching for a moment, then I'll ask you a question about it. Okay. So, fielding independent pitching is an advanced metric that measures a pitcher's effectiveness based solely on outcomes that they can control, like strikeouts, walks, hit by pitch, and home runs. Those are the 4 things that it takes into account. It doesn't take things like, a miscue on defense, or an error, or a pass ball, or something like that on the catcher. It doesn't take any of that into effect. So, Cheese, do you like the traditional stats of like ERA and things like that? Or do you like something a little more advanced, like fielding independent pitching?
I don't know much about FIP as you do. Is it park adjusted as well, like ballpark? Do you know?
It's not necessarily ballpark adjusted. That's another stat that we can get into later.
Okay.
But this just simply looks at, how many strikeouts, how many walks did he hit a pitcher, and how many home runs has he given up? And they take those 4 components together, and it's like fielding independent. That's why the word independent is in there.
Luck.
So it's the independent things that only the pitcher can control.
So ERA, there's some luck involved, and this is trying to take away the luck. Is basically
Yes.
okay. Yeah. I think it's really important, no doubt about it. But you can't dismiss ERA. I think you have to look at both. Maybe even divide them, put them together, divide by 2. I'll just say this: I remember in his prime, Kyle Hendricks would always his ERA with the Cubs was always a run lower than his FIP, field independent pitching, always, because he knew how to pitch. He knew how to get people out. I think that's really important. If a guy always beats his field independent pitching, then I think that's important. But there's other guys you could. Okay, I'll give you an example. You could have a year where your ERA is 2 something, and your field independent pitching is 3 something, and the next year, maybe you're a bullpen pitcher, your ERA is 4 something, and your field independent pitching is the same. So it's a good tool to show maybe this guy didn't have a down year. Maybe he hit some bad luck. Maybe his defense wasn't good enough behind him. So so you absolutely should look at that. I think it's a better tool to see how good a pitcher's doing year in, year out than maybe ERA. But you cannot dismiss ERA, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, ERA, earn run average, of course. But I think what's happened here, Cheese, this is just my own personal opinion, right? So a lot of GMs, a lot of front office people have got all these new stats that they look at. And someone somewhere said, you know what? If we're smart enough to look at these stats, I think the average baseball player is smart enough to look at these stats. So here's my final question in our baseball talk, and it's this. Do you think MLB has too many numbers and it tends to simply confuse the average fan?
Yeah, I do. I like it. I think analytics is much more interesting, much more important in baseball and football. I think it was way too far in football. I think I enjoy it more in baseball, but there's so much out there. Sometimes it is confusing when they talk about it. Oh, he's outs above average or defensive run saved. Which one's better? Like some people like one or the other. So I think it can confuse. It takes away from just like he just goes out and hits a fastball for a homer. That's good. Like what happened to that? Like, just go out there and slug a homer for us. So go out there and slap a single the other way instead of just, you don't have to hit it hard to do that. Just maybe go for a bunt base hit, little things like that, old school. It takes away from it from a little bit. So for the average fan, casual fan, for sure, I think it takes away. I just remember watching baseball as a kid and just liking certain players because, they produced and not worrying about weak contact a pitcher got, not worrying about the range on defense, worrying about, barrel rate, stuff like that. You didn't think about that. You just liked the players because they produced. Right.
I get that too. Hey, so for those of you who are big baseball fans, and maybe you're a big card collector, I'm a huge card collector. You can kind of see some of them over my shoulder. That's not even a tenth of what I've got in this room, but I'm a huge card collector. And if that's you as well, go over to either the Red Hot Reds podcast or Minor League Mondays, 2 podcasts that our guys Ricky and Roger are doing that are associated with the Cincinnati Reds. And you can find out how to get a numbered, autographed Reds minor league card for absolutely nothing. It has been donated to us by @HitMachineCards on X. Of course, you'll know them by the Hit Machine, but he is @HitMachineCards over on X. Go over to one of those 2 sites. The instructions are there for all you have to do. It's really simple. It costs you nothing, and you might get a great numbered, autographed minor league Reds player who may soon become Sal Stewart before it's all said and done. So then you've got a gem on your hands. So great giveaway that we've got. We appreciate everything that's going on there between the Red Hot Reds and the Hit Machine. All right, guys, we're doing a lot of different stuff with the giveaways. We're doing all those things. I also want to do this real fast because I want to promote them. We did this on Sunday. It's a 9-second little cut. Let me do the 9-second cut. We'll come right back, and Cheese and I will talk about both of them. They're new, they're coming soon, and we can't wait. That's right, guys and gals. Mr. First Down is going to be a new guy here on All Gloves Off Sports Media. His podcast material and everything else is coming to us soon. And Cheap Pop Society, a new wrestling program that is going to be coming on with All Gloves Off Sports Media as well. I've got like 3 or 4 more people that I'm going to talk to between now and the next podcast that we're doing on Tuesday. And we'll cross our fingers and we'll hope to be able to give you some announcements soon of other podcasts that are now going to join our network so that you can stop in just right here and get everything you need from a bunch of different places in one stop. Cheese, I know you like Mr. First Down as well. I don't think you've met the guys from Cheap Pop yet, but we'll get there.
I have not. Yeah, Mr. First Down. I actually did a video today on my channel at Football with Cheese on YouTube, where I did the 2-round mock draft for the AFC South. I haven't heard from him yet. So I want to see what he has to say about his Titans, because they, made 2 picks for them. So I did not go Jeremiah Love. So I don't know if you said, I don't know if you saw that.
I know you said something about it earlier. I know we've been really, really busy for the last 48 hours. Sure. So, I mean, we did a Bengals thing on Saturday, right, where we broke down the Dexter Lawrence trade for about an hour. That did really well on the channel. I thank you guys for that. Then on Sunday, we did the great big huge draft thing where we had Cheese and Wayne and Med and Clint, and we all did picks. Well, not all of us, because all I did was host, thank God, because you probably wouldn't have liked half of my picks. But all I did was host it. We did a great show for them, and we did a great show for a lot of different people. That has really taken off. We've gotten a ton of viewership across all of our platforms. And by the way, we are on a ton of them. Let me run down the list for you really fast. We are on Facebook. We are on YouTube. We are on Twitch. We are on X, of course. And then we have audio only platforms. You can get us on Spotify. You can get us on Apple Music, and now you can get us on iHeartRadio. Plus, we use Substack, if you guys know what that is. So all kinds of different platforms. We are growing, and we are spreading the growth all over social media. So jump on board while you can and listen every chance you get. So, Cheese, I think it's about time. Why don't we do our lights out? How about that?
Okay.
All right. All right. So today on the Lights Out Sports Podcast, we're doing our Lights Out list. We usually each do 10, but it's a little bit of a special one today because the draft is Thursday. So I didn't want to have Cheese come up. Actually, Cheese came up with this idea. So Cheese didn't want me to have to come up with 10 crazy things that would happen in the draft. So each of us are going to do 5. So Cheese, we'll just go back and forth. You do 1, I'll do 1. We both said earlier that we kind of started off a little slow and then we get crazy towards the end. So do you want to go first or you want me to go first?
What do you want to do?
It really doesn't matter to me, sir.
I brought different notes for different topics. You go first because I have to find my 5 predictions.
All right, buddy, no problem. I'll go first. So the Giants, with pick number 10, will pick Keldrick Falk because they believe he's a younger version of Dexter Lawrence, that he's got the same disruptive possibilities, and they're thinking that he can maybe not take the place of Dexter Lawrence, but he'll be that kind of player in a year or 2. What do you think about that?
I think there's no way. Well, I mean, as far as impact, it's possible. They're very different style of players. I don't know where my list went, man. Oh man. I got all these things open and man.
You can't find your list?
I cannot find my list to save my life. I thought I sent it to this computer. I had this other computer. So what I do is I sent the notes, but somehow it was at the bottom of it. It did not, the NFL notes, it's not here.
Well, see, that's what you get for having like 12 computers in your house, man. You're just too
I only have
fancy.
3. I only have 3.
All right, well, we'll improvise. I'll just give you my 5, okay?
No, well,
and then if you can find your 5 by then, or if you want to take some notes or whatever
here we
you
go.
want to do.
Okay, here we go. I wanted to send it to this computer, so I'm looking at the screen. Let me do that, but like I can go and give my first one. Okay, I found it. Oh my gosh. It was driving me crazy here.
Yeah, it's a great podcasting, Cheese. We appreciate it.
Well, I got my notes for my top 100 list. I got notes for other videos coming up. I have so many open.
I know. We're both doing a ton of stuff right now.
Yes. Okay. First one. The Miami Dolphins will move back in the first round, not from just 11th pick, from the 30th pick. They'll move down from 11, and they'll move down from 30 in back of the second round. And they're going to target picks in the 2027 draft. So they'll move down both picks.
I can see that. I mean, we said it on this show plenty of times. The Dolphins need so much stuff. They may as well try to get more picks. And then if they can get more picks in 2027, okay, that's probably going to be a stronger draft anyway. So that makes sense from the Miami Dolphins perspective.
Okay, that makes sense. So it's not that bold. Yeah, but it gets bolder. That was my easy one. Okay, what's your next one?
So and I'm with you, man. I'm going to get bolder. Just wait till the end. I'm going to get bolder and bolder and bolder here. Okay. So the Raiders will get back in the first round of the draft at number 23 with Tampa Bay. They'll have to trade picks 36, 102, and a second round pick in 2027. And then when they do, they're going to select wide receiver Jordan Tyson to pair with their tight end, their new quarterback, and their running back to have a big offensive attack.
Well, Fernando Mendoza will be very pleased. Okay. They were supposed to have the 14th pick in the Max Crosby trade, but the Ravens just, changed their mind.
Right.
Like, let's just make sure you fail them in physical. Make sure. We'll sign Trey Hendrickson and keep the pick. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
What do you got, buddy?
Okay. Both of these off-ball linebackers, C.J. Allen of Georgia and Jacob Rodriguez of Texas Tech, will go in the first round. Both of them, despite being 36th and 44th in the consensus board. The teams that could possibly target them: Buccaneers if they move down, Cowboys at 20, maybe even, Bills at 26, Texans at 28, or you never know, a team moving back into the first round. So both C.J. Allen of Georgia, Jacob Rodriguez, Texas Tech will go in the first round.
All right. I take it you're high on those guys, even though the consensus board is not.
36 and 44. It's not a stretch for someone with those numbers to go in the first round like this. But yes, you'll see my top 100 tomorrow. Make sure you check it out at Football with Cheese on YouTube. Yes, I am much higher on both of them than consensus. They're studs. Right. They are turnover forcing machines.
That's a good thing to be in the National Football League.
Yes.
So I'm going to tell you, Cheese over here plugging his stuff. You know what? I'm gonna hang on. I'm gonna plug my stuff, and I'm gonna do a picture. You ready?
Oh, cool.
Yeah, as soon as I can find the picture. There it is. This is my new short form podcast. It's called The Sports Pulpit. You'll see it come out tomorrow, and then one the following day, and one the following day. And of course, when I do that, I have to go through and no, I don't want that one. I want this one. There we go. But I'm going to do a couple of things on the draft. I'm going to do Jeremiah Love. Where is he going to go? I'm going to do the Rodgers riddle because he is holding them hostage, I believe. And we'll talk more about Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then the third one that I'm going to do is, do the Pittsburgh Steelers have to do something crazy because the draft is in Pittsburgh? Just happens to set up my third bold prediction.
Well, what a mess. They don't even know their quarterback is going to the draft. They host it. They have no idea. Can you imagine if he retires? What are they going to do? Will Howard. Yeah. Will Howard, starting quarterback, Pittsburgh Steelers.
No. Because with pick number 21, the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to select Ty
Carson
Simpson.
Wow. That's your prediction. That's bold. That's bold. Do you remember when they took they didn't take Malik Willis, but the rumor was they're taking Malik Willis. They're going to take him. And they went with the pick guy. Oh my God. Well, I'm having trouble with names tonight.
You're
Because
tired. I get it.
because he had so much more experience. They want a guy to play right away, so they didn't take Malik Willis, and they took 2022. He's bounced around the league. Okay, hold on.
It's going to make you crazy until you get it, isn't it?
Kenny Pickett. Okay, Kenny Pickett. They're like, oh, they want some experience. He can play right away. He's terrible. Now Malik Willis.
He was a Pittsburgh guy too.
Right. Malik Willis should have sat for 2 years. Titans played him right away, which is so dumb. But now he's a starter in Miami. But anyway, and then last year, sure, Sanders probably going top 5, right? But then he will never get past Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh will take him at 22. Pittsburgh will for sure take him. That's a farthest default. We heard that. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Pittsburgh passed on him like for 4 rounds. Went in the 5th round to the Browns. So yeah, it's possible, but I don't think they're going to do that. Even if Rodgers, they think that he's going to retire, but it's possible. This is bold predictions, so.
Yes, bold. Okay. Bold is the key word in the sentence. Bold. What do you got for your number 3 bold prediction, sir?
We're getting bolder. Caden Proctor, offensive tackle at Alabama, will be drafted ahead of Francis Maui Noah.
Ooh.
Maui Noah is 6 on the consensus board. Caden Proctor is 19.
Would you draft Proctor before Maui Noah?
Depends. Do I need a right guard? No, I'm taking Maui Noah. If I need a tackle guard, a guard that can maybe, play tackle. I just don't think Maui Noah's a tackle. I don't think he's a tackle at all. I just don't think. I think he'd be a great guard. It depends on what you need. Cubs win. So Phillies lose again, like 10 of 12. It depends. Like, do I get the Caden Proctor that finished the season? Do I get the one that played early in the year? The one that was 365, 370? Do I get the one that's going to stay under 350? I don't know. But if I get the guy that's going to stay in shape, keep his weight down under 350, I'd take Proctor. If not, I'd take Maui Noah. But I just have a feeling there's always someone that you fall in love with what he could be, and he gets overdrafted. I think that might be Caden Proctor.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about that for a second. When we did our draft on Sunday, which, by the way, if you guys haven't seen it, it's very entertaining. Stop by, take a look at that. It's our draft special. What's up on our YouTube channel right now, which is at, it's not at because it's YouTube, but it's All Gloves Off. Daggone it! Now, see, you're making me do it. Yeah, sports media.
All Gloves Off
Media.
Sports Media on X. All Gloves Off SM. Yes,
correct. So take a look at it. There was a guy who fell that we didn't think was going to fall, and there were 2 or 3 people who were picked a little earlier than we thought. So it just kind of depends on who's picking, what team it is, what their needs are, and that's why we love the NFL draft. My 4th bold prediction is this: the Chiefs trade with the Texans for pick 4. And they keep pick 21, or excuse me, 29, or I guess with the Titans, yes. So the Chiefs trade with the Titans, pick 4, and they keep pick number 29. So that means they trade picks 40, 74, and their 2027 first-round pick. But they think it's enough because they select Arvell Reese.
So Arvell Reese falls to 4 in this scenario. That's the bold part, I think, more than anything, not the trade. Reese is still there at 4. So Arizona has passed on over Reese. The Jets have passed on him. Okay. Well, who went 1? Who went 2 and 3 there? In your bold prediction.
Moving on.
Okay. Anyway. Okay. My number 4 is, we did the mock draft. It was a lot of fun. I think we were as accurate as most mock drafts out there. The one thing I think we didn't do great is, it's just maybe the way the board fell, is we didn't draft enough offensive linemen. Blake Miller wasn't drafted. Caden Proctor fell to 31. I think so many offensive linemen are going in the first round. I think 10, at least 10 offensive linemen will be among the first 32 picks in the draft. Yes, that is right. Ooh. Which means 10. I'm going to give you 11 names. Okay, yes. 10 of these 11 will be picked in the first round.
Okay, go ahead.
I think most of them are obvious, right? Francis Maui Noah, Spencer Fano, Monroe Freeland, Caden Proctor, Blake Miller, Caleb Lomu, Max Ianacher. Okay, that's 7, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those wouldn't surprise anyone. Venga Ioane, 8. Okay, those make sense. Then we'll go Chase Basantis, guard Texas A&M, and one of these two, Emmanuel Pregnon, guard Oregon, or Kalen Rutledge, guard Georgia Tech. So 10 of those 11 guys will go in the first round because offensive linemen get overdrafted.
I will certainly agree with you that offensive linemen get overdrafted, but and especially in this draft because there's not a whole lot of studs. So you're like, okay, I need offense. I mean, I think almost every team needs offensive linemen, right? So it's like a safe pick.
I made a list. I think 17 teams have to get a starter on the offensive line. I think 19 should definitely. I think 21 did probably draft an offensive lineman with one of their first 3 picks. So that's great you asked that question. I had it ready. Chase Basantis, by the way, is 40th on the consensus board. Manuel Pregnon is 43. Kalen Rutledge is 51. So for me to be right, all those tackles have to go in the first round, and 2 of those 3 would have to go in the first round. I have a feeling there's going to be run on guards at the end of the first round.
All right. So we got 1 each of us left, and then we'll be going into our buddy Dan from Bunch of Nuts podcast here. We'll talk about first Sonny Styles, then Arvell Reese, Carnell Tate, and Caleb Downs. So we'll get to all of that here in just a second. But first, let me give you this one. Cheese, you're sitting down, right?
Yes, I'm sitting down.
Okay, good, because here we go.
Okay.
The New York Football Giants, who already have picks 5 and 10, will trade picks 37, 105, 145, next year's first round pick, and Cam Skattebo to the Arizona Cardinals for the 3rd overall pick. And they will choose Jeremiah Love.
My screen isn't frozen, sorry. Wow, that's bold. Oh man. So would you do that if you're a card? Would you take that if you're Monty
absolutely.
Osborne? So you give up the 3rd pick, you get the next pick you make in the draft is 37. You will not pick again until 37.
Yes, but again, as I discussed, I kind of set this up for what I said earlier. I mean, I think there's a lot of good. There's not a lot of difference in first round, second round, third round. So, yeah, I'm good with that. Plus, you get Cam Skattebo, who has the Arizona connection, which I think the Cardinals fans would just go crazy about. You'd sell Cam Skattebo jerseys off the shelves for the first 6 months after they make this.
Plus, he's really
then they
good.
get a first round pick next year.
Plus, Cam Skattebo is healthy. He stops trying to hurt himself, running with his head down.
Right.
Plus, he's really good. He's a really good player. Yeah, that's bold. I could see them move. I think they would have to get the 5th or the 10th pick in some kind of trade. I could see them getting Skattebo and some picks, but obviously that would probably work as far as value. But I think Arizona would want to at least get 5 or 10. But wow, that's bold. Okay, I'm going to get kind of crazy here too. You ready?
Okay, let's do it. I like it.
Green Bay Packers. Don't pick until 52. Are you aware, Mike?
Yes,
they
I am. They have no first round pick
for Micah Parsons. They don't have one next year, too. They will trade back into the first round. Okay? They will use Jaden Reed, wide receiver. Okay? Because they have Christian Watson, Matthew Golden, Tucker Kraft. So they're going to trade Jaden Reed, wide receiver, pick 52, their 3rd and 4th picks next year. Move up to the late first round and select Max Ianacher, offensive tackle, Arizona State, because they don't really believe in Jordan Morgan. He'll sit for a year, and then when Jordan Morgan obviously crash and burns because he's terrible, he will take over as left tackle next year, and he will be their franchise left tackle. And yes,
wow,
that is my bold prediction.
Of course, it has to do with the Packers. I mean, why wouldn't it? Since you're the big Packers guy, but. There's part of that really makes sense. I know they don't like that particular player, their tackle that they've got right now. I know you are really high on Max.
Yes.
So am I, actually.
Top
I'm
15
not...
on my board.
Cool. Wow.
Top 15.
15.
I have only 2 offensive line in my top 15. I have a bunch in the like 16 to 30 range. He's one of 2 offensive line in my top 15.
And what? So you can get all of those offensive rankings, right? The top 100?
Yeah. Well, I do. Yeah. I have my top 100 will be released tomorrow, and he is in my. I think he's 14 or 15. I can't remember. I don't have it in front of me, but you like the player as well. You said.
I do. I like Max a lot. I think, for me, he's higher than a lot of other people put him at. But I'm not sure if he's a first rounder. He's that fringe guy in first round, top of the second round kind of guy for me. I don't think he's going to be top 15 for me, but that's where I've got him into the first, beginning of the second.
He has the makeup, intangibles, the tools, the work ethic, the athleticism. He has all the tools. He is a risk, no doubt about it. But it's just telling of all the people that Green Bay had in for a visit. No one was even close to the first round except for Max Iheanacho. Why bring him in for a visit unless you're thinking about going to get him? So, that's my 5th bold prediction.
All right. So you have heard them. It was a little different this time. We got a bunch of bold predictions, and now what we've got is our good buddy Dan. I can see him. He's getting ready. He's getting real close to the camera to scare everybody here when we pull him in. Got the hat, got the beard, got everything going. But first, what he needs is music.
Mike, I will be right back. Right back. Okay.
All right, everybody, we're going to bring him up. This is Dan. How you doing, buddy?
Good. This is quite the show you guys got here. Quite the production.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that. I'm not sure if it's quite the production or not, but, we'll get there eventually.
I'm excited to be on, though. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Yeah, move the background there, get it off the baseball stuff, because we are going to talk college football. In fact, you know what? Let's put our college football graphic on in back of us. We haven't had this one up for a little bit, so here we go. There we go. All right, so we got this all set up, man. Dan, I know you are with Bunch of Nuts podcast. Tell us about the podcast and where people can get it, buddy.
Yeah, we're primarily on X. We've also been an Apple and Spotify show for the entirety of our show. We've expanded to YouTube. YouTube is not our bread and butter. I mean, like I said, we post all our videos and content mainly on X, but if we're more an audio podcast, but we do a video component. But unfortunately, me and Cass are not, supermodels. So I think it's just better to hear our thoughts than see our faces at times. So that's why we kind of go that way. But it's an honor to be on StreamYard. We were on this last time with Danny Boy Kane for the Ohio State Miami preview. So it's good to be back on StreamYard. Great platform. And I'm excited to talk some NFL draft, man.
All right, so am I, man. I tell you what, we're going to do a whole lot of this here. We're going to break down each one of these guys that are going to be in the draft, because myself and Cheese both think that there's a good possibility that all 4 of these Ohio State guys go in the top 10. Do you think that's a possibility?
I think it's a possibility. I think, unfortunately, a team is going to overthink it, and I think we'll get 3 out of the 4. But I'm rooting for 4. But I think we're gonna get 3. Unfortunately, I think someone's gonna overthink it.
Right. So right there, we got Cheese back with us here, and that's the reason why we do the video component is only because of Cheese, man. I mean, look at that. Look at that hair. Come on now. All right. So we're gonna start, ladies and gentlemen, with Sonny Styles. And we're going to do so, and we're going to take each one of these 4 guys, talk a little bit about each one of them, and then there's going to be a little bit of a question at the end. It's just a generalized Ohio State question here for myself, Cheese, and of course Dan. And again, he's Bunch of Nuts podcasts. Check it out on YouTube. So, starting with Sonny Styles, because I think he's the most intriguing of these Ohio State products. I'm going to start with our guest first. So Dan, he had a great combine, which is what propelled him into the top 10 status. But if a guy has one great game, evaluators tend to kind of pump the brakes and tamper down the excitement. So why do you think the combine workout projected him so high, yet a single game played would not?
Well, I think when you look at the whole body of work for a guy like Sonny Styles, the combine, I mean, it wasn't just a combine. There was a the way they measure the combine. He scored a perfect combine score. So he scored 100 on this test they had. I forgot the test name. It doesn't matter. You just gotta know he was the only guy to get a perfect score. When you couple that 4-year starter, leader, national champion, and the heartbeat of Matt Patricia's defense, it wasn't one game, but Sonny Styles only missed one tackle the entire season. It's been a great season for him. It was Mark Fletcher in the playoff game. He only had one missed tackle. It's the entire body of work for him. When you look at everything holistically, I think he's one of the most complete guys in the draft. I think honestly he's probably going to have the best NFL career out of all the Buckeyes. I think. I mean, and his intangibles too. It's everything with Sonny Styles. I mean, I cannot give higher praise to a Buckeye.
Wow, I cannot give higher praise to a Buckeye. Cheese, can you give higher praise to a Buckeye than what he just did with Sonny Styles?
Yeah, I mean, I actually like a couple Buckeyes even better. So
way to shoot that down right away, Cheese.
I have 3 Buckeyes. The 3 guys we're talking about in my top 5. But my top 100 tomorrow, I have 3 in my top 5. So,
wow.
Yeah, I had this, I have my notes for him. Yeah. 1 missed tackle a year. I have that listed, but so here's Sonny Styles. Here's my notes here. He's so instinctual. He is a freak athlete. He's a safety at 244 pounds, safety athletically. He is so terrific pre-snap. I love watching him getting other players lined. If somebody was out of position, he would squawk at them. You get there. They're like, he's going to have the green dot in his helmet. He is a very high football IQ guy. He's really physical at the point of attack. He will throw blockers back into the running back. I saw him multiple times shove the offensive lineman back into the running back, slowing the momentum. That's incredible. Killed the play. When you do that, you absolutely kill the play. Let's see what else. Oh, he's good at shedding blocks too. He's good at getting his hands on blocks, getting off of them. Much better overall reach than that. Like I said, okay, I mentioned it. 1 missed tackle. He played really well against Indiana. He had an amazing game. Even though they didn't win, he was not because of him.
No. Defense did their job in that one.
Yes, he was one of the best players on the field in that game. And zone coverage, dropping in zone coverage, he's tremendous. If I'm gonna give him 2 little things,
I know where you're going, and I'm ready though.
Okay, zone coverage, he's amazing. When he's watching the quarterback, he's incredible. Instincts, whatever. When his back's to the quarterback and he's covering in man, he's not as good. He's much better covering in space and in zone than covering in man. I think he's a little hesitant at times, maybe in man coverage, but also blitzing. He could be a much better blitzer. It's almost like he's trying to not let the quarterback get away from him, lose contain. And I just wish he'd be a little more aggressive as a blitzer. But I think he's just too smart for his own good. But he's a rare, once every 10-year kind of off.
Me. That's me. Too smart for my own good. That's me.
Sure, we'll go with that. But I love Sonny Styles. The fact that he's like not even my top 2 Ohio State player in the draft is insane because I absolutely love him. I comped him to Brian Urlacher.
I agree with everything you said. I think you nailed it spot on with his coverage skills because he was recruited as a safety, but I mean, I'm sure you remember the Cotton Bowl. Jaden Blue's first touchdown was kind of like I believe it was like a wheel route type deal. And Styles was in man against him, it looked like. And that's where he kind of does struggle in man against running backs out of the backfield. But outside that, everything can be coached. Everything's coachable. He has the NFL pedigree. Like his dad was a NFL player. His brother's going to be an NFL player. It's all coachable. It's all fixable with him. And he's a kid who is he wants to get coached. He wants to get better. So that's why I'm so high on Sonny Styles. I'm sure like once the scouts had him in the actual draft process, I'm sure they fell in love with him. I mean, I would if I was I was the Giants.
Well, if I'm Robert Saleh,
Yeah,
I'd be shocked to ask if the Titans don't take him. I'm going to ask Robert Saleh, why didn't you not take Sonny Styles? Like for your defense, he's perfect fit. Like
I agree.
Why?
Taking notes here. Dan agrees with everything Cheese says. Never a guest on this show again. Got it. Okay. So. Oh man. So you know what, Dan, you mentioned the bloodline. Let's go with that for a second. So Sonny Styles does come from a good bloodline, with his father playing at Ohio State, Lorenzo Styles Sr. His younger brother, Lorenzo Styles Jr. plays there. So what advantage, Dan, does coming from a football family bring to a player when he's being considered by teams in the draft?
Well, you look at the Long family, defensive family. Chris was tackle, right? And Chris was the defensive
Chris
end.
was the edge.
Kyle was the tackle. Chris is also Howie's also the defense end. But like it's just understanding the process, I think. And I think it never hurts. I mean, we just know he's going to get it done. I think I'm not saying he's bust proof, but I think he's a pretty sure thing. I think when you look at the entire body of work, like I said, I think he's going to be the most consistent guy out of this draft. And you're going to look back, and whatever team gets him, he's going to probably have like a 10-year career, multiple Pro Bowls, and he's going to really anchor your defense for the next decade.
All right. Cheese, what about you? Do you consider the bloodline when you're looking at different draft prospects?
Yeah, yes. Some teams absolutely do. There's certain teams, if you have a bloodline, they're going to move you up the board. You have to. Absolutely. Because you come from a football family. Football is your life. If your father, uncle, if you have all these people, older brother, all play football, like Caleb Downs, we'll talk about him in a second. Like you have to take that in consideration. It can only help. It can't hurt, because your life, football is part of your family.
All right, Chief. So I'm going to stick with you for a second, because you were the one that mentioned Robert Saleh. Is Tennessee the best fit for Styles because of their new head coach, Robert Saleh? The fact that he has worked with guys like Fred Warner, C.J. Mosley, Quincy Williams, and others. What do you think about the fit there?
Oh, he'll excel in that defense. And Fred Warner, you brought up, like he can just drop in zone. He's the best middle linebacker in the game by himself and take care of business. That's who Sonny Styles is. He can drop in his zone. He's so good, with his face looking at the quarterback. He's probably the best player in college football. Well, I don't know, maybe Caleb Downs, but with his face facing the quarterback, just in zone. It's almost just like it looks easy. Watching Sonny Styles, everything just looks easy when he in space. Like stuff slows down for him. So Robert Saleh should be banging the table. Like if he's there, like why are you guys wanting to take a running back? Like, come on. like this guy will thrive in my defense.
All right, so we've got our special guest here with us, Dan, from A Bunch of Nuts podcast. He has Cass that's with him as well on the podcast. Well, maybe we'll try to have him on a later date or something like that elsewhere. But Dan, can you tell us where are you at on X, buddy?
I'm sorry, where am I on X?
On X, yep. Give us your handle.
Yeah, mine's D Smith, DSMYTH, the Myth, THYE. MYTH, like D Smith the Myth. It's kind of playing my last name, but my primary, I am at bunch_nuts. That's where I do all my tweeting. The other account's my personal account, and I just kind of tweet about golf and just absolute nonsense on my personal account.
I get it. So what do you think about Tennessee and Robert Saleh and being a good fit for Sonny Styles?
I mean, I could definitely see it. I would love to see, and I know this sounds crazy because they have so much capital at these positions. I would love to see him on the Giants. I just think he would be such a great addition to that defense. And I know they have Brian Burns. I know they have Thibodeau. they just have everyone at that Abdul Carter. They have everyone at that position, but they don't really have a middle guy. They have a bunch of edge guys. They need a really like a guy in the middle. Sonny Styles is that guy. I think I would love to see him fall one pick. And I know Giants fans are going to be like, why would you want him? Like, we don't want him. We've had so many Ohio State guys like Eli Apple, and they were busts. But I just think Sonny Styles would be such a great addition to them because what he brings is mentioned.
It's not Eli Apple's fault that he was drafted like 30 picks before.
It's not. It's
like,
not.
When he was drafted, it was like, he's a second round pick. Why are you taking him like 10th or 12th overall? What are you doing?
I agree.
Not his fault.
I remember I was out just getting my hair cut at the barber, and they drafted Eli Apple. He's like, is he good? And I'm like, it might have been a reach, buddy. Like, I'm sorry. But he had an okay career. Like, I know Eli Apple gets absolutely like roasted because he got torched in his career, but he ended up having a solid NFL career. Just wasn't at the level where he was drafted. But if he got drafted in the second or third round, I think people would have saw it as a better career.
Yeah, he was decent for the Saints when he got there. He was decent.
Even at times for the Bengals, at times he made some plays.
Then, even with the Bengals, yeah.
Which is crazy, right?
Is someone even play good on the Bengals? Okay.
What? All right, Cheese. So, you're the Packers guy, and we're going to move on to Arvell Reese here for a moment. Okay. Cheese, is it fair to compare Reese to Micah Parsons?
No, I don't think it's fair because Micah Parsons is what he's done. It was not expected. Off-ball linebacker only, then moved to edge. When they realized how good a blitzer he was, like, I think what Dallas saw was when he blitzed, they had not only a lineman ready for it, but a running back too. Like, you double team a blitzer, you already count on it. And they're like, let's just move him to edge if they're going to do that anyway. So I don't think it's fair. But I mean, I don't know how to phrase this because no matter way I phrase this, but he's a similar type of player. As far as athleticism and his blitzing ability, where they came from, as far as starting at off-ball linebacker.
Hey, Cheese, let me interrupt you for 1 second. Dan, I'm assuming you're moving your mouse around on your table, so that's fine. But if you go down to where your picture is down below, there's a little microphone thing right there. Click it where it says mute it. That way we can't hear it. All right? There we go. Okay, Cheese, go ahead, buddy.
Well, that's pretty much it.
Okay. Well,
it's unfair, but I get the comparisons because of the size, speed, athleticism. Both start at off-ball linebacker, both projected to be edge.
Okay. All right. So, Dan, I'm going to go to you. Same thing. Go ahead and unmute yourself and talk to us about, is it fair if we compare Arvell Reese to Micah Parsons?
I don't think they're the same type of player at all. I think Parsons is way better at rushing the passer. Arvell Reese this year, he only had 6.5 sacks. He's not – if you're going to draft Arvell Reese expecting like a Von Miller, a Micah Parsons, a high sack guy, I think you're going to be you're going to be disappointed. Or I think he exceeds is kind of like you said in that hybrid role. Playing almost, sometimes more towards the middle too. Matt Patricia lined him up everywhere. I mean, if you watch him, he lined him up on the strong side, the weak side. They would have him in the middle. He can play anywhere. So it's just kind of, he needs to go to a team where the mentality is he's just going to be near the ball and they're going to put him in the best position. I think honestly, I would say more like a Roquan Smith type. I mean, that's what I would compare him to. And he's just a massive hitter though. He loves to hit people and he's going to be a scary dude. Like, he's a scary dude. So that's what I would say about Arvell Reese. He is a freak though. And he has been getting a lot of, flack because, they watched his pro day and they said, oh, he's not as shifty, not as bendy as others. And then we watched David Bailey, and David Bailey also wasn't shifty or bendy at like people like it. Just, if you're going to draft Arvell Reese, you need to like have a plan to develop him into an edge rusher. Otherwise, he's got to be everywhere because he's not going to be a natural pass rusher coming into the league year one. You're gonna need someone to work with him with his hands too and everything.
All right. So you mentioned the whole hybrid thing. You've talked about him maybe being, the edge rusher or whatever. So let me ask you this, Dan. I'll stick with you for a second. He played both off-ball linebacker and stand-up edge at Ohio State. But when he goes to the NFL, should he become that hybrid guy, or should he choose one of those two positions and concentrate on that?
It really depends on the team's needs. I personally think he should be the hybrid. Because that allows him more optionality, and I think he's always been kind of the hybrid to begin with at Ohio State, so that's kind of what his natural position is, and it's kind of like I feel like it's almost a newer position in the NFL. We're kind of seeing come out, like even like a Zach Bond, Fred Warner type. There's a lot of guys that are like this now, and championship teams need guys like this. So that's why I think he's going to be, probably a hybrid type.
All right. So, Cheese, do you like the fact that he may stay a hybrid, or would you rather him stick to one of those two spots if you were drafting him?
I'm just going to push back a little here, Dan. I actually disagree with you. I think I would use him just like Von Miller. I think he can be a Von Miller type.
I see it at all. And I'm a diehard Broncos.
That's fine.
Fan.
I think he's very raw, but his edge rushing upside is tremendous. I heard an interview where he said when they started giving him edge rush snaps, he didn't really know what he was doing. He didn't know any moves. And I didn't know that watching on film. I had no idea. And I'm thinking, well, this guy has so much upside. If they can teach him moves, he could end up being a big sack guy. I think, to answer your question, Mike, I do think the moving around more of a hybrid, but I think here's what I would do.
It's a huge projection, though, that they're making. That's the one thing. They're projecting that to do that.
Here's what I would do with him. I would make him a rusher like 80% of the time, but I also have plays where he drops out, which obviously creates a nightmare for, teams, because you have to know where he is, move him around, right? And if he doesn't rush, if he drops in coverage, well, then that right tackle or left tackle, wherever's supposed to block him, is probably going to, block grass.
I think I like your logic. I would probably change it to like a 60% rush, 40% drop back. Or 65% rush, 35% drop back rate. And then also, the thing is too, the edge rushers make so much more in the NFL. So I feel like he might be marketing himself a little bit as an edge rusher and maybe kind of leaning that way. But that doesn't mean I think his best position is the hybrid role. But I could also see him kind of leaning into, hey, it's more money here. Let's really try to perfect this. But I don't know. After watching him, I just think he's a hybrid guy. But it is what it is.
All right, everybody, you are listening to the Lights Out Sports Podcast with myself, Mike Valentine. There's Cheese in the middle, and today we have a great guest, Dan, who was with us from a Bunch of Nuts podcast. Cheese, I'm going to go to you for a second and ask you this final question that we have here on Arvell Reese. Reese played in every game in 2024 and started in every game in 2025. So what does that say about his durability, if anything?
It's very important. Obviously, if you have a clean bill of health, no issues, you play every game, that's what every NFL team wants. Obviously, we've seen guys with any kind of injury issues, any kind of medical red flag, they could just completely fall off the draft. And I just got some notes on Reese here. Okay. I was just kind of looking at my notes. Okay. Here's what I wrote. This is just watching him at Ohio State. Always around the ball, incredible speed, unbelievable agility and acceleration, one of the best blitzers I've seen in college football. He said, my favorite play was when they blitzed him and Caleb Downs on the same side, and the running back had to try to pick up one of them. Good luck. He gave Arch Manning more problems than any player during the season in week one. In that game, he would show like he's dropping in coverage, not show blitz and then drop a coverage. He's the opposite. A couple plays he dropped in coverage and then decided I'm going to blitz, and he's so fast and accelerated so much that he still made the play, either got the sack or forced the pressure. It's just unbelievable. That game is like, when I watched him week one, I was like, okay, this is a dude. This guy's a dude. But here's another thing I didn't expect. I watched the Illinois game. His bull rush, he's stronger than I expected. He has a bull rush too. And looking back at that, he probably didn't even know what he's doing. He just tried to push the lineman back. I absolutely love him. He's my number one player in this draft. And I think his upside's just great because I don't think he's going to learn more pass rush moves. One thing I'll say, though, I never saw his hand in the dirt. Every pass rush was standing up. So if you're a team that runs kind of a 4-3 where you need his hand in the dirt, may not be the best fit. So I just absolutely love Arvell Reese. I think his upside is, as high as you get in this draft.
All right. So, Dan, do you love Arvell Reese too? And do you love him more because of his durability?
Oh, I mean, he's durable. I will say this: he did miss a few games his true freshman year with a concussion. Not that I'm saying Arvell Reese has concussion issues or anything like that, but it's just something to keep an eye out on. I mean, the way he plays too, he's violent. He had a targeting call that got reversed. I mean, he's going to throw his head in there. I mean, I love Arvell Reese, but I think there's a lot of projecting with him, and guys like those edge rushers like him. It's kind of scary to draft. I would take a guy who's more surefire. I think Caleb Downs is generational. I have Caleb higher than Arvell on my board. Arvell actually, I think out of all the Buckeyes, and I know you guys might be rolling your eyes at this, out of the 4 Buckeyes in the first round, I would have him rated 4th, honestly. Just
Okay.
as a fan who's watched all these guys play, I think at its best, I think he's going to be a 4th guy because I think Cardinal Tate's such a sure thing too. I mean, Styles, Downs, and Tate are such sure things. Arvell's the only guy that you have to project a little bit, and if he continues, he can absolutely be the best guy out of all these guys. But what I've seen, I gotta go with one of those 3 guys before Arvell. And I'm not trying to hate on him either or anything. I really like Arvell. I like the style he plays. But I just think there's better guys out there for Ohio State.
Let me ask you this then. But do you think it's important that he plays a position that's going to disrupt the quarterback more, like a more premium position if he rushes the passer? Do you think that has any weight as opposed to like an off-ball linebacker or a safety?
No, because I think those positions could all have equally just as big of an impact. I mean, the way Caleb Downs plays safety, he's basically a linebacker too. So Caleb Downs he could play in the box, he could play free safety. You could put him anywhere. He can impact the run game. Arvell too. Like, I don't think the position matters. I just think the production you're getting from him. Would you rather have? Here's my question: would you rather have, if you're in Ohio State, like if you watched Ohio State and stuff, would you rather have Arvell Reese do what he did this year, or just have 10.5 empty sacks just because he's putting his hand in the dirt? Like, what's making a bigger impact on the defense? I think the way he played this year made a bigger impact. The way he rushed, the way he had gap integrity, the way when Damon Williams, if you're an edge rusher, you're not going to be in a position in the open field against Damon Williams, who's an electric quarterback for Washington. You're going to be trying to get to him, but Arvell was basically able to keep contain, and it was insane if you watched it because Damon Williams was very fast, and like that's kind of the play that really put him on scouts' radar. So like once again, I don't think the position part is as important. I think because defensive coordinators in the NFL are going to move him around, they're going to scheme him open. I mean, they're going to scheme him on the ball.
Sure. I disagree with that. I think his position, I think hybrid or rushing the passers is more important. And the fact that he is a player that if he plays a hybrid role, like even rushes 60 or 80, like I said, or 60 like yours, you have to scheme around. You have to know where he is. Yeah, the center, the quarterback has to point where he is on every play because he could rush, he could drop. I think that's so important. I think rushing the passer, impacting the quarterback is the most important thing on defense. So I think he is I have him as the best player in this draft. I think like I said, I think he's sky's the limit with his pass rush ability. I think he'll only get better.
So the 2 guys on the left, that's myself, Mike Valentine. Of course, Cheese is in the center there. And then we've got our good buddy Dan now, Bunch of Nuts podcast. You can catch him there. But let me tell you something, Dan. Let me give you the ultimate compliment here because I'm going to give it to you, and you don't even know you got it. If Cheese asks you a direct question, that means he knows that you know what you're talking about, or he wouldn't be wasting his time asking you a question. So you just got the ringing endorsement of Cheese because he actually asked you a question. There have been guests that we've had on this show, and then after we're done with the show, Cheese will be like, "Don't you ever, and I mean ever, bring that guy on here again."
I didn't say it like that.
Oh, now
no, we've had guests. I love Mr. First
You
Down.
know what? It takes a little bit to. You guys been doing this. It takes a little bit to ease on into the shows because you're like, I don't know who I'm talking to. I don't know what the vibe. I'm burping the camera before. I apologize for that. So, yeah, we're just kind of figuring it all out as we go. Like, and maybe Arvell Reese will figure it out like I am or something. He'll be a great player. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see. We'll certainly see.
No, I mean, I know Dan, you still think he's one of the best 5 players in this class, though. I mean, it's not like you don't like him. I can tell you like him. You just like the other guy's better. They're all amazing players.
Yeah. It's like, which kid do you love the most?
So we've done 3 questions on Sonny Styles. We've done 3 questions on Arvell Reese. Now it's time to turn to Carnell Tate. Gentlemen, if I was given $100, Cheese, I'll start with you. If I was given $100 and told to bet that money on the surest pick in any top 10 slot, I would put my money on Carnell Tate going to the Cleveland Browns at number 6. Would you do the same bet?
Fernando Mendoza of the Raiders.
Okay. All right. That's fair. I guess I didn't really think about that one, but I was thinking about the Ohio State guys, but okay. Dan, what about you?
No, sorry.
No, you're fine.
Of the 4 Ohio State guys, where they land, yeah, I think the Browns desperately want to move out. It's just too high for a tackle. Maybe they go tackle. A lot of people are mocking that, but it's just too high. So if they stay, I do think that's probably their pick.
All right. So Dan, you're from Columbus, Ohio, right?
Plain City, right outside Columbus.
Okay. Okay. So are you a Browns fan or a Bengals fan?
I'm a Broncos fan. This is gonna kill me to say.
Where's this show gone? I was just complimenting everybody. What happened?
I like the Broncos.
I'm not originally from the area. I'm from actually New York, but like, my grandparents lived in Colorado. My first game ever was a Broncos game. So like,
okay.
So that's been my day one.
All right.
team.
So there's a reason behind it. All right.
Yeah. I've been through the Brian Greasy era, the Jake Plummer era, all that good stuff.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. You know, we got the Super Bowl in 2015 or whatever. So it was this year was a great year too. So we're thriving over here.
All right. So what do you think? Carnell Tate number 6 for the Browns, Dan?
I mean, the Browns brigade right now, they are clamoring. They are demanding Carnell Tate. They want Tate. And they're going at other people for calling. People are calling Browns fans are they're going at it they don't want to be called homers because they want Carnell Tate so bad. They're like going at people who are saying, "Oh, you're a homer if you pick Carnell Tate." So they're really wanting him. I don't know if you guys follow Leroy Bickerstaff on Twitter. It is allegedly Deshaun Watson's burner account on Twitter. He was demanding the account was demanding the draft Carnell Tate after like a couple month hiatus, just out of nowhere. You gotta draft this kid Carnell Tate. So
why? He's not going to play for him anyway. I mean, I don't understand. What's he care?
Mary Kay Cabot said today or something that he was like looking really good, I guess, in practice.
He might. It's that or Shedeur Sanders or Dylan Gabriel, Mike. So he might play. They might be trying to tank. So if you want to tank, play Deshaun Watson.
Whoever the quarterback is, though, they need someone to throw to because Cedric Tillman cannot be your number one. So Harold Fannin is great. He's a great tight end, and you can kind of move him around like a receiver. They need a number one. I think Carnell Tate to the Browns would be a great pick. I don't know if I would.
Huge need.
I don't know if I would bet everything on it. I will say this: a source told me that in their interview, like I have a source in an NFL locker room, they told me in the draft, in the combine interview, that Carnell Tate said he would be the best wide receiver to ever come out of Ohio State in history. And then they pressed him on it. This team, they said, well, what about Jeremiah Smith? And he says, Jeremiah Smith is just faster than me. So he gave Jeremiah credit. He was humble, but he thinks, his mentality is he's going to be the best player to ever come out of Ohio State at receiver. That's how highly he regards himself. And, he's made the plays this year. They held him back a little bit because of injury. They were afraid about his ankle or something. It was a really weird situation. He went 3 games. in November where they said, we're not going to throw it to you and you're not going to break 1,000 yards. But nothing was really wrong. It was a really weird situation, but I don't see him slipping past 6. I'll say that. I think he can go higher though. I could see him going potentially top 2.
I think if the Browns move down, I think he could fall to 8, but he won't fall past 8 because the Saints would like run to the podium.
Yeah.
So if they move down, I think he could follow the Saints, and the Saints would take him.
I think top 6 is a lock. Top 6 is a lock for him.
Okay. All right. So, sticking with Carnell Tate here for a moment, the exception to that rule, you maybe 6, maybe 8. That's kind of the stuff we're talking about right at the moment. So the only exception to that rule is if a team's picking in the top 10, but they have another receiver ranked ahead of Tate. I know Cheese doesn't have Tate as his number 1 receiver, Dan. Do you, and why or why not?
I have Tate. I absolutely have Tate as my number 1, just because what Brian Hartline has done. It's one of the most secure positions to draft. I feel like an Ohio State wide receiver of late. If I had to put another guy though, I would say Mekhi Lemon. And what I like about Mekhi Lemon, he's a little crazy, and you need that. You need that as a number 1 receiver. He's got that. Got not that.
Or not.
Yeah, no, you do. He's got that edge to him. I like that.
So does AJ Brown.
But that's a good thing sometimes. If you need an alpha guy, I could see Mekhi Lemon. If any of them, Mekhi Lemon might be picked higher. If there's going to be a receiver that goes ahead of Tate, I would say Mekhi Lemon.
All right, Cheese, I know that you don't necessarily have Tate number 1. Who is your number 1, and why do you have that guy at number 1?
Tate's a very close second. It's very close. It might be like 2 spots in my top 100, but I don't want to just sit here and bash Tate. I want to talk about some good things first because there's a lot of good. He's always under control. He is so smooth. He has some of the best hands in the country. Contested catches, he just seems to always come down with it. His ball tracking and adjustments while the ball's in the air is unbelievable. It made me a little worried about Julian Saint's deep ball accuracy because he always seemed to have a lot of times had to adjust. So I'm like, oh, how good is Julian Saint? I mean, he's very good, but but there are a lot of plays where Carnell Tate adjusted the ball, turned his body, made the play. He will go up and get it. There was a great play against Wisconsin where he just jumps in the air in the end zone. And he's hit on both sides and still come down like nothing. It was such an incredible touchdown. He's a great blocker in the running game, which, a lot of receivers in this class are not. But yeah, okay. There might be a few negatives. He struggled with press man. He's like 192 pounds. He's going to be tested in the NFL with that. You might have to use him in motion to prevent that. And he wasn't a big yards after catch guy. Like Jordan Tyson's my number 1 receiver. If he's healthy, he's a much better yards after catch guy. And one of the kind of strange thing about Carnell Tate, when I watch receivers, a lot of times I'll write down what routes they run. Like what routes are they running? Is it pro routes, whatever? And of course, he ran a lot of pro routes, but there were games where he only ran curls and go routes. Like those were the 2 routes. He's very good at those. No, don't get me wrong, but it's just I don't know if it was just Ohio State's offense. You're good at those, but it just seemed like he ran some games almost the entire game did those 2 routes. But yeah,
do you know real quick? Do you remember which games those were? I'm just curious if it was like play calling or was it Hartline or Kelly the OC? Do you know, or was it a mix?
It was this year. There are games where they ran more dagger concepts. He's run in-breaking routes. There were games like that, and there are other games where he's really good at curl routes because he's very good at coming back to the ball. And we know he's great at 9 routes. We know it's go routes. That's his route. It just seemed like that's what he was doing either as a decoy or it was going to him, decoy for someone else. So no, I don't have which specific games, but
that's okay. No, that makes sense. I mean, if it's this year's like offensive play calling,
it was this year.
Yeah, I think last year's was a little more like the year before the Natty year was a little more dynamic. I mean, they lined him up at the slot at times against Texas. I will say, like we said, not trying to bash Tate. There was times he had cases of the dropsies. The Michigan game, he had a couple. I believe like there was a crucial drop right in his hands, like a 3rd down that would have extended the drive in 2024. So that's I mean that's the only other thing don't love that. He might drop it at times. So we didn't see really any this year. It was just last year, so but something to keep an eye on.
All right, so gentlemen, the last question on Carnell Tate here. I wanted to bring this up. I've been trying to figure out a time to do it. I knew about this, and I think this is the right time to do it. Cheese, Tate grew up in a rough neighborhood in Chicago. And if you didn't know, his mother was actually killed in a drive-by shooting. Every time he scores a touchdown, he blows a kiss to the sky. Tragedy, Cheese, makes you more mature. So does maturity matter to a team when they're making a pick in the NFL draft?
It's huge. You want mature guys in your locker room. Character is so important. You don't want guys that are immature. You want guys with emotional intelligence. You don't want guys with poor judgment. You don't want a guy out at 3 a.m. on a Tuesday night at the strip club. You don't want that. You want a guy who's mature, take care of his business. So, yeah, absolutely. Character really matters for your locker room.
All right. Dan, I'll ask you the same question. What about the character? How much does it matter? And do you think it'll move him up in the draft a little bit because of having that character?
I don't think it's going to be the needle mover because there's a lot of great guys out there that they're not going to top 5 because just character alone. Carnell Tate, though, he won 5 total academic honors at Ohio State, and just to speak of his character, when he was going through that super odd, like I said in November, that like ankle injury that people were like, he blew his Achilles, he broke his ankle, he's out for the year, and it's like, no, they were just kind of resting because it was Purdue, UCLA, Rutgers stretch, not important. You got to beat Michigan coming up, and we were literally at the game on Carnell Tate watch. We saw kind of like what was going on. We saw him with the ankle. We were literally like on the sideline there, and people kind of start going, oh, it's disciplinary. He did something. He's suspended. He did something. Like there's rumors flying on the message board, but like people are so quick to dispel that. And that just kind of speaks to how great of a character he is, because it's like people were like standing right by him, like, no, that has nothing to do with anything that's going on. He's a great kid. It's just they're kind of holding him back because it's you're going to play Michigan for the biggest game of the year for the team, and then obviously you would have Indiana and then the playoffs. So it's like we don't need to see how much tape are we going to get of Carnell Tate running dig routes against UCLA and Rutgers. Like what more are we going to learn about Carnell Tate there? He wasn't going for any records or anything for the school. He was just going for maybe 1,000 yards. So I think he's a really high character guy.
All right, I certainly agree with that. Now let's move on. Our last guy here, Caleb Downs. So we talked about bloodlines earlier, and man, he has one too. His dad played 6 seasons as NFL running back, and ex-NFL quarterback Dre Bly was his uncle, and his other brother plays now as a Colts receiver. But he credits his grandfather, who was a 23-year-old Army vet, for making him the man that he is today. And let me give you a quote from him talking about his grandfather. He says, "He raised his son to lead my family the way he did. I felt like the way you lead your family in terms of how you operate as a father, that's been passed down to his son, my dad, and hopefully someday it'll be passed down to myself and my family." He seems to be a leader, Dan. Do you want a leader in your football team, on your football team? And should that leadership quality, again, should it project him higher and higher on the draft board?
Caleb Downs should absolutely shoot him up draft boards. Caleb Downs, and I'm gonna just talk so much about Caleb Downs because if I had it, he's probably my favorite Buckeye on this list. Okay. Caleb Downs, his whole family unit. It's not just his grandfather, and because it takes a village to raise a man like that. Mm-hmm. And Gary, his father, is an incredible man. Like his mother, is an incredible woman, and
who also graduated from Ohio State. Yes.
Oh, yep, and she's a teacher, and she's gonna basically, on draft night, basically, once it hits Friday morning, she's retiring. I've been told from school, from teaching. And, I mean, it's such a great family unit. Josh is an awesome, brother figure. Dre Bly, but it's also the mentors Caleb's had in his life too lately. Like Nick Saban was obviously he had time with Nick Saban. He had time with Ryan Day. Caleb Downs is the epitome of leadership. When he came into Ohio State, he really took over the defensive room. I noticed a major culture shift when Caleb Downs came in there. You know, best in America, they call it BIA. They weren't producing NFL talent at the time, which was like Ronnie Hickman was going undrafted. We did not have any good corners going to the draft. Caleb Downs came and completely changed the culture. He is one of the best leaders in school history. I cannot talk higher enough than Caleb Downs. He is a surefire generational prospect. He compares to Ed Reed, a Troy Polamalu type. I mean, as a safety, like I watch his game and I'm like, he is like the perfect player. So it's going to absolutely kill me as a Broncos fan when the Chiefs take him with their first round pick too.
I don't think he gets there. I don't think he falls that far.
You don't think? I hope he gets taken sooner, because if he gets taken at the Chiefs pick, I am going to be so livid, because it's my favorite player going to my least favorite team. So
I think they're more in on one of the edge rushers. I don't think he's going to fall there.
I could see Ruben Bain to the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So Cheese, we've talked about the bloodline, we've talked about character, now let's talk about leadership. Some of these things that are not necessarily measured on a football field. How important is leadership?
It's huge. You got to have good leaders. You got to have a strong locker room. Because a bad locker room can hurt you. You have to have leaders to help the young people, the young players. There are teams that if you have bad leadership, they fold. They collapse in the playoffs. I have so many notes on Caleb Downs. I can't possibly read all this, but I just want to talk about him. A couple examples. Against Penn State, okay? They tried screens, reverses, misdirections. They were trying all these trick plays, trying to get something going. And Caleb Downs seemed to stop all of them. Like, he was the guy. He was all over it. Like, I don't think I've ever seen a safety blow up screens better than Caleb Downs. Like, he reads them, and he's so explosive, so fast to just blow them up. And Penn State just... I get it. You have to do something to pull the upset. They tried everything and none of it worked. And the main reason was Caleb Downs. But I even went back. I found my notes from the year before. I started my channel right before the college football playoff started the year before, when Ohio State won the national title. Okay. And I looked at my notes in the Texas game. Okay. And everyone thinks about Jack Sawyer beating Cameron Williams with a strip sack. Yeah. Return touchdown. That's what you think of when you think of that game, right? Okay. Let me read my notes from that game. Okay. Texas ran a lot of dagger concepts in breaking routes, because Ohio State played a lot of deep zone. That's how you beat deep zone. You run a lot of those routes. None of them worked because Caleb Downs played a lot of single high and destroyed every single time Quinn Ewers tried to throw across the middle. He is the best player on the field tonight, and I might be the only person that knows it. That's what I wrote back about 14 months ago.
The Jack Sawyer play doesn't happen if he doesn't blow up that toss on the goal line.
Yeah. I wrote he was the best player on the field in that game. So that he was one of the best players in college football when he stepped on the field the first game at Alabama as a freshman. He's been unbelievable. If he had been able to come out as a freshman, he would have been a first round pick as a 19-year-old. Like, he's that good. He's not as big as a lot of the best safeties in the NFL. Typically, your Ed Reeds, your Kyle Hamilton.
No, he compares exactly, dude.
Kyle Hamilton is not nearly as big as
Kyle Hamilton's a freak.
Sean Taylor.
Pull up Ed Reed and Troy Polamalu. I actually posted this on my Twitter account. Okay. If you pull up their actual size, it's same 6'2", 2, whatever it is, same height and weight. It's like maybe a pound off. It's uncanny how now Kyle Hamilton I'll give, because he's like a 6'4" guy. That's completely different. But Ed Reed, Troy Polamalu, exact comp. I swear. Look at pull it. I'm not crazy.
Well, I don't know about not crazy. You are on this show. But, Cheese, I'm going to stick with you for a second because you mentioned it. Caleb Downs actually started his career in Alabama, where as a freshman, he led that team with 107 tackles. Mm-hmm. How impressive is that to perform that well as a freshman?
Oh, it's so impressive. like I said, as soon as he stepped on the field, he was one of the best players in college football. He has been ever since. He's amazing. And I remember people were talking this maybe a month ago, like, oh no, he's not going top 10 because he's a safety. And it's like, first of all, the top 10 is not very strong. Second of all, Kyle Hamilton was 3 and 4 on some of these draft analyst boards. It was the 2022 draft. I remember before I started my channel, and I'm looking at this. They're 3 and 4, 6 sometimes at worst, and they're saying, "Oh, but he won't go top 10 because he's a safety." And I'm like, "Well, if he's 3 and 4 on your board, just take him." So it's like you have to take this guy. Like, would you rather have, a player that's at a more premium position, like offensive tackle or edge rusher, that could be pretty good, or would you rather have a Hall of Fame potential safety? So it's very impressive.
All right. So, Dan, what about his freshman year in Alabama? What did you think was 107 tackles? Come on now. And that's Alabama. It's not like it's, Toledo.
I liked his freshman year at Alabama. He wasn't – you watched the game against Michigan, the playoff game. I think that was probably one of the worst games he's played in his career. And even then, that game, he was played pretty dang well. He did drop the pick, which was – It alone was a crazy play to even get to the ball, but he didn't catch the pick, which I know eats him because he holds himself to such a high standard. And then also, I believe it was like Michigan's fullback absolutely like mauled him on, I think, one of Corum's touchdown runs. But other than that, I thought, he had a really good year at Alabama, returned a punt for a touchdown, did a little bit of everything. But I think he's obviously grown so much since Alabama. And he's a completely different player. And I mean, he was literally a coach on the field, and I know Chiefs kind of had his notes and everything. He's saying like he's so good at blowing up screens. I want to add to that. I mean, I feel like every time me and Cass watched a game, we'd always like text each other and be like, Caleb Downs just ruined that drive, because there's usually one drive a game where the running back, he would just get into the backfield and just tackle for loss, and it's 2nd and 12 or 3rd and 12 out of nowhere when the offense was expected to be on schedule. And he could also go and return a punt like 70 yards for a touchdown. And he could also play, single high safety and play, like a robber type deal. He's just so complete. And the fact that his brother, I feel like, has been kind of preparing him a little bit. I think he's been leaning on his brother, which is such a great thing. Because Josh, they do the podcast together, Downs to Business. Shout out them, follow them, great podcast. And Downs to Business, like, they have like all the NFL guys on there explaining to him like, oh, Caleb, like, you're gonna love the NFL game so much more than college, because he's such a clever player. He's so cerebral. And football is life to Caleb. So, and also whoever, like, someone tried to leak too that he had a degenerative knee issue like that, and that
lasted 24 hours. That was the story for 24 hours and it was gone.
It's kind of like the Carnell Tate thing too, like the character thing, like I mentioned. Like, people are just leaking random stuff that there's no merit to any of this.
That happens every draft
season.
It's
a game, because he's such a great kid, and I'm very excited tomorrow to see where he goes. I mean, as long as he doesn't go to the Chiefs, I'm getting his jersey, so I'm excited.
But now, real quick. Now, he's not perfect. I did find a few flaws. Okay, he would miss some tackles. He missed more than I kind of expected. He had some missed tackles, and sometimes he'd play in coverage the receiver and not the ball at times. But those are minor things that are fixable, and that was not even every game, just some games. But that's pretty much it for negatives. That's it. That's all I got.
That's all you got, man. You can't really beat that. I mean, I was waiting for you to rattle off this
negatives.
Big list. And, oh, man.
Reminds me of Eric Berry a little bit.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Eric Berry. Eric Berry, they're not an exact comp, but he would blow up screens. He would be in the backfield, just like you said. He would make it 2nd 12. You throw a screen, he'd just be there right when the ball was running back at the ball. So Caleb Downs, I think he's a more complete player than Eric Berry, but he reminds me of what Eric Berry used to do.
It's a good floor, like a Eric Berry, Landon Collins type. Landon Collins would be like my floor, then my ceiling would be like a Troy Polamalu for him. I mean, those are all great players to have, though. Those are all Pro Bowl caliber your Hall of Fame level guys, but it's just how much you do value safety. Me, I'm highly biased. I was a safety. I'm like, oh, it's almost it's a quarterback in the defense, because a lot of them now too, they wear the green dye. It's shifted in the NFL slowly. It's like linebackers still do, but it's shifting to the safety actually a little bit now. So, and
no, I agree. I think safety is more important than people realize.
Yeah, it really is.
All right, guys. So, you guys are here with us on the Lights Out Sports Podcast. We appreciate each and every one of you staying with us. Our numbers have not dropped whatsoever, even though Cheese is still in the middle. So Dan's with us here, Bunch of Nuts Podcast. Dan, you said you're on X, you're on YouTube, and then you also mentioned the fact that you've got some audio only. Where can we get you at audio only if that's what people prefer?
We're both on Spotify and iTunes, like Apple Shop. It's just we're the Bunch of Nuts Podcast. We also have a TikTok account too, and Facebook. But we, like I said, X audio and YouTube. We do our show once a week usually. But thank you for the plug. But yeah, just honestly, everything's on Twitter. Go on Twitter at bunch_nuts, and you'll see everything there. It just makes more sense if you go to our Twitter page. It's all there.
All right, sounds good. So our last question here on our last guy, Caleb Downs. Dan, I'm going to swing it over to you here. So some of his Ohio State brethren were converted, or they have played multiple positions. Downs, on the other hand, was a 3-year starter in the same position, 1 year with Alabama, 2 with Ohio State. Does the fact that he has been a 3-year starter at one position give him any type of edge when he's being evaluated for the draft on Thursday?
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely say so. I don't see how that couldn't hurt. But he can also play. He can shift everywhere. Like I said, like he's come down into the box. He's gone up high. He's all like these Ohio State guys. The thing is, Arvell, Sonny, Caleb. We kind of played like not a positionless defense, but they all moved around so much. It's such like a cohesive unit. It doesn't really matter what position, who's playing who. All these guys can do multitude of things. So it's just really how's it work into the game plan? Because that's kind of how Patricia approaches things. So, but I think there's a lot of good tape on Caleb Downs and not a lot of bad tape. It's very hard to find bad tape. So it obviously can't hurt.
All right, Chief, same question, buddy. What about being one position, one guy his entire career in college?
Just the experience. Their teams, they love 3 years experience. When you have like 1 year and you have, you have 2 decent years and have one breakout, might not help you as much. When you have 3 amazing years, all that experience, it can only help. It does not hurt.
Okay, so last question, just kind of a general Ohio State question. Cheese, I'll start with you, then I'll let Dan close everything out as we're getting ready to wrap up the Lights Out Sports Podcast here. Last question is this. We mentioned Lorenzo Styles Sr. earlier. He is now the defensive analyst and linebackers coach for Bowling Green. Richard McNutt is their defensive back coach. And, of course, the head coach of Bowling Green is Eddie George. All Ohio State former football players. Gentlemen, if you had a son who is not quite good enough to play in the SEC or the Big Ten, would those 3 coaches sway you to have your son play for Bowling Green? Cheese, I'll start with you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's the same thing. It's like, if they're in Ohio and they got offers from MAC schools, Bowling Green would probably be the choice, especially if they played running back and Eddie George. It's the same as like, if say you're getting offered from, I don't know, Texas Tech, Baylor, Arizona State, right? And you're a wide receiver. I'm going to Arizona State because I want to learn from Hines Ward. If you're a wide receiver in Florida, you're not offered Florida State, Miami, Florida doesn't offer you, but South Florida does. Oh, Brian Hartline. Okay, I'm wide receiver. Yeah, I want my son to go there. So yeah, absolutely. I think that's very important.
All right, Dan, what do you think about those 3 guys at a smaller school like that? Do you think it would sway you as a father to send your son there?
As a father with a son, as long as my kid doesn't play for Michigan, I'm happy. I obviously Eddie's a legend, and I've heard just incredible things from him. Like, we're friends with Jamie Sumner, who played actually with Eddie George. Eddie George is one of his guards on his Heisman season, and like obviously Eddie's just like, I've heard just such fantastic things about him, and obviously Lorenzo too is such a great man. So it's just a great coaching staff. That'd be such an honor to have your kid play for Bowling Green. Just to begin with, a MAC school would be absolutely thrilling, and then you just throw on top of like all those legends. Sign me up. I mean, absolutely. But if it was like Jim Harbaugh, I'm like, nope, you're going to the Army, son. Like, you're not enrolled in college. Sorry. I'm joking, obviously, but yeah, no, it would just be, I mean, regardless, it would just be an honor to see you. Realistically, it would just be an honor to see your kid go anywhere. But my kid's probably going to go golf, honestly. I don't think he's got the size for it.
All right, got it. Cheese, is there anything you want to add to the end of the broadcast, buddy?
No, this is fun, and just I got my top 100 tomorrow, and got my final mock on Thursday afternoon. And it's Football with Cheese on YouTube, and follow me on X at Football Cheese without the with. And yeah, we should have you back on before the season. Talk Ohio State coming in this year. I don't know if you know this, but I think Jeremiah Smith might be. We might be talking about him at this point next year.
Yeah, no, he might be. The question is like how is he going to dodge getting drafted by the Jets, because the Jets have the entire first round pick.
You know they'll pick high. You know they'll be in the top 5. They have 3 first-round picks next year.
I think Ohio State fans need to really cheer for the Jets. So Jeremiah Smith might consider coming back to school next year. So we got
NIL money. Who knows?
Exactly.
If you're one of the best players in college football and you're not going to be a top 15 pick, you will make more money than a late first-round pick.
Oh yeah.
So,
or it's like, if the Jets have the first overall pick and the second pick, it's like, I'm going back to school.
Yeah, Columbus looking pretty good.
Right.
As a guy who lived in Wayne, New Jersey, next to like 10 minutes from East Rutherford, yeah, it's way better than East Rutherford.
Well, I'll say this: you kind of joke about it, but like Todd McShay, I don't know if it was false, but he reported that Dante Moore went back to Oregon mainly because he didn't want to be a Jet. Jet had the second pick. That's the main reason, not necessarily the NIL money. Was the main reason is he didn't want to be a Jet. So that's why he went back to Oregon.
I don't blame him. And my wife is a Jets fan too, so it's like I feel their pain, but it's kind of warranted at points. So it's the car crash you gotta watch. I'm curious what they're gonna do tomorrow. I really am. I think they're probably gonna take Bailey. I think, but I'm curious. I'm curious what's gonna happen there.
So you had to get him all riled up again, didn't you, Dan?
That's the rumor, but I've always mocked Reese. I think they should take Reese, but who knows? I would take Reese if I were them, but
I think they're going pass rusher. I would definitely say pass rusher.
It's either Reese or Bailey. I don't think there's any other person involved unless they trade it, but I have not mocked Bailey yet to them, and I'm not as high on Bailey as some, and I would take Arvell Reese. I think he's the best player in the draft. So
I agree. Sorry, Mike. No, I agree. Cheese.
I'll just hang out over here in the corner. Don't worry about me.
I agree with like Arvell's better than Bailey. My thing about Bailey is I don't think he's as bendy. I don't think he's as refined. Like, I think Bailey kind of he would remind me of like a Will McDonald, and the Jets already kind of have that.
Here we go, talking about Ben.
He's not a good run defender. He's not a good run defender, and he's an amazing pass rusher. He's so gifted, but he also he's so undisciplined. He's out of control. He runs too hard sometimes. Like he needs a lot of work. Yeah. Like his highlights are incredible, like unbelievable. But there are times where he takes himself out of the play. Like you can't say that he's just the best pass rush prospect. I honestly think if he was in the 2024 draft, which had Brock Bowers go 13, 6 quarterbacks top 12, he would be in the middle of the first round. It's just weak at the top. I just don't like him as much as others. He's not in my top 5. He's in my top 10 for sure, but you know.
All right, gentlemen, calm down over here. I'm trying to wrap this up by 2.5 hours here. Okay. So Dan, we know where to find you out on YouTube. We know you've got the audio only platforms. We talked about X, but we didn't find out what day you usually broadcast. What day can we catch you on?
Well, we're kind of, it's, we're in off season mode. We're kind of like the Joker. Like we don't have a plan sometimes. We
Okay.
during football season, we usually do like a Sunday and probably like a Thursday. We'll do like a recap show and a pregame show. But like it just gets nuts with the holidays, so we will sometimes record on a Tuesday. We try to put at least one good show out a week during the off season, usually on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday range, and then during the off season, during the regular season, we will do a preview show and a recap show. So we post it twice a week. We usually once we get in the flow, we're usually consistent for a couple weeks, and then we'll then go, oh, we have like a family event, so we got to do it on a Tuesday instead of a Wednesday. But we always get the show out. It's just might be a little different.
Okay, that's fine. Certainly understand that. We've all got lives, so I get that as well. I asked Cheese, so Dan, let me ask you, anything you want to add to the end of the show, sir?
No, I mean, I just want to know, because you guys are located, I guess, in Arizona, correct?
I'm in Arizona. Cheese is in Texas.
So I have a question for, I guess, you guys. Any chance you think Ty Simpson could go to the Cardinals at 3? What are your thoughts on that?
No way.
No chance.
Absolutely none.
Not at 3. There's no chance he's going that high.
No. I'm just curious because I'm like,
no.
So you guys are going to run it back with Brissett, I'm assuming.
Yes. And they know that already. They just have now. There is a little bit of a contract thing going on right now because Brissett has come out and said, "Hey, if I'm going to be the starter, I want to be paid like a starter." But we'll see how all that works out. Even if he's not, they got Gardner Minshew. So.
And my last question: Marvin Harrison, is there a potential draft trade we have?
We talked about this an hour ago. We talked about this an hour ago.
I don't think so. Cheese thinks possibly. I don't really think so, but I don't know. I'd be open to it as a Cardinal fan. I mean, I'm Cardinal Bengal. Used to be in Ohio. Now I've moved to Arizona, so Cardinal Bengal. I'd be open to it, but with our luck, he'll go somewhere else and just blow the roof off the place.
My one friend was saying the Bills. He wants him out in the Bills, so I was like, it could be a good fit. I don't know if they have the capital, but interesting. But that's all I got, gentlemen. Thank you.
I'll say this about Ty Simpson. Every time one quarterback is tied to one team and only one team like he is, they almost never end up with that team. Oh, Arizona is taking a second round pick or they're moving their first round. Like everyone's reporting that. So when that happens, most of the time, sometimes it happens, but most of the time they don't end up on that team at all. In fact, usually that team passes on them at all. So I'm not necessarily buying the Ty Simpson hype. I could be wrong to the Arizona.
Well, if you guys are just tuning in right now and you're looking at, oh my gosh, they're probably about to stop, and we are, but you can rewind it back, do bold predictions, because in my bold predictions, I had someone, we'll just say pick 21, taking Ty Simpson in the first round. So we'll see how all that shakes out. But all right, gentlemen. Hey, thank you guys very much, Dan. I appreciate you being on the show. Hang out for a minute. We'll talk off air when everything goes off. Cheese, again, always. Thank you, buddy. We certainly appreciate it. And as we always say at the end of every one of the Lights Out Sports podcasts, the only thing that's fair in life is a baseball hit between the third and first base line. Good evening, everyone.